That's $10,000, Connor. Ha ha! Yeah! Yeah! This show is not for sharpshooters. This show is a fucking machine gun. There's no chewy center to this show. It's all hard candy. This show is not a sniper on a fucking roof. This show is a drone taking out a village. Do not invite me into your house because I will come in and I will wreak fucking havoc. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Get away from me. There's no reason for you to do this right now. I don't... Why are you... All right. Can you hear that? That's my shirt being torn off. I don't know why it's happening. Dude.
I told you I was going to do it.
Yeah, but why? There was no point because now I have to do an entire fucking show in rags. I mean, that was just ridiculous.
You were.
No, I was not. All right, here's the thing, folks. I'm wearing... I went to a nice lunch. I bought you a nice fucking lunch, too. And this is the way I get treated?
I told you I was going to do it.
Yeah, but do it later or do it another time or do it on the way out.
Do it in the restaurant.
And you didn't even do it in the part you were going to tear.
Oh, here, let me get
No, that's fine. Have a seat. Well, it doesn't matter. It's fucking destroyed. To get a picture, you need to get a picture now.
Give me your phone.
You absolutely fucking have to take a picture now. It just seems ridiculous. Oh, my God. All right, yeah.
I can't tell if you're really mad or not.
Well, I'll be honest. It's a little fucking weird early. Like, is this, maybe you close the show tearing my fucking clothes to pieces. But I mean, right now I'm like the fucking, I look like Ringo running from the fucking fans and help. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Christ. All right.
I did the world a favor.
Take another photo.
Right,
I look like an idiot. No, I got to pose in this one. All right.
Pose. Do muscle flex.
I'm not doing muscle flex.
Wait. Here, hold on. Let me tear this flash dance off your shoulder.
Oh, Jesus.
I just laughed so hard. I think I peed. Oh. Try that now. I like the flash dance look.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So all right, here's the thing. I took Lily to lunch. I showed up at her house today because it's Wednesday. I'm off today. I'm not off. This is my job. This is my real job. I'm Travis Barbecue a lot of the other times, but that's just filling in the gaps. That's just coloring within the lines. When I come here, I can color outside the lines. I can do whatever the fuck I want, man. I'm the boss. Fuck Tony Danza. I'm the boss. It's a game I played in a car once. That was so fun. I've told that story on here.
Fuck Tony Danza?
I wish I would have. Angela? Who's this guy with his cock in my ass? That's an awful Tony Danza.
That's a perfect Tony Danza.
Actually, that's a pretty good Tony Danza when he's got a cock in his ass. I'll be honest with you. Normally he sounds like himself. Whoa, Angela, Samantha, who's this guy fucking me in the ass? What am I, Eddie Murphy from Raw? The fuck was that? That was awful. Norton, my friend. All right, so goddamn Raw is hysterical. I sat in a room and watched it with like 10 guys from high school. It wasn't even just guys. It was like 10 people from high school, like 15 people. And I can still remember what we turned off to watch it, for fuck's sake. We were watching the Lions and the Giants at a Monday Night Football game. We turned it off to watch the Raw special, and it was amazing. All right, so, folks, here I sit now in fucking half a goddamn shirt. Because that's, today, well, and dude, you tore that right along the pocket. That's actually kind of neat. Look at that, right along the goddamn pocket. You did that like as if you were someone who had experience in tearing things off of people.
I kind of do.
Yeah, I've actually. I don't know if that's. Yeah, okay. I'll tell this. Why not? I was in bed with somebody, and things were happening, and I went. I reached down and I had my hand inside her panties, and then and I was just gonna go down on her. So then I just reached and I went to rip her panties off of her, just grab them and tear them apart. And I grabbed them and I went and I started to rip them, and she goes, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I go, "I was gonna tear your panties off." And she made a face at me like I couldn't decide if she thought that was the worst or the greatest idea she'd ever heard in her life. But she was just genuinely stunned, like in the moment. And I mean, it was in the moment. I mean, and just in the moment, let's do this. I don't care. But also, she is kind of a lingerie connoisseur. She was, and so she has the good stuff. You know what I mean? So when I would I've done it. So whatever. So it was a thing. So I actually had to kind of stop. But it was just easier than going here, let me slide these off. Because I mean, there's a time for that. There's a time for it here. Let me elegantly slide these down your amazing fucking thighs. And then there's a time for fuck that. Rip, plunge. I mean, it's just like, let's do this now.
The rip plunge.
And there's also a time for, hey, I don't have any time to take these off. I'm just going down on you through them. Is that okay? Is that going to work out? And then we can wring them out when we're fucking finished, because that will have to happen. So, what are we looking for? Scraps of paper to write down the idea of the show?
Yes.
Here, why don't you use a scrap of my fucking shirt and just needle point it into there?
Sure,
God
over
damn it.
here.
Yeah, that's not fucking happening.
Let me have this.
No, really? You gonna,
Just let me have this.
I don't, what are you
No,
doing?
wait.
You should probably stop that.
Well, see, I have this white China marker. It's gonna be like.
Is that going to write well on the shirt, you think?
Rip plunge is probably the name of the show.
Well, yeah, because you're not going to be able to fit anything else on this shirt flap that you have. And, so you're lucky I had a shirt on under this shirt. But I didn't have a shirt on under this shirt. Because now I'm straight up fucking, I look like I went Bruce Banner into Hulk, and now I turned back into fucking Bruce Banner, mild-mannered podcaster. It's fucking terrible. I don't like that. Oh my God, an actual legal pad?
Oh, shut up.
I can't believe that I'm actually worthy of having my ideas scrawled down on an actual pad of paper rather than just one fucking matchbook, for fuck's sake. It's the least you can do after destroying my wardrobe. So Lily and I went to lunch today. I showed up to pick her up, and I was here early. I had to get a haircut, blah, blah, blah. And then I hit the gym early, and I got yoked. I got fucking yoked, folks. Today was, what was today? Arms and abs? What did I start with? Oh, we burned out on legs first. Burned out the legs, and then went and did some plank. And then some crunches with a 45-pound weight over my head. And then fucking did some tri pull downs and some fucking preacher curls. That's right. Curls for the girls. Want to feel my arm? I think you do. No. I think you do.
No.
You should. God damn it. All right. So, it's funny because you tore my shirt apart. You didn't have to. If you'd have just told me to go like this. Oh, yeah. Look at it. I could have just flexed and torn right through this motherfucker. So yeah, so I'm familiar with the tearing off of the clothes thing. I'm a fan. But yeah, and I always thought it was best to not let the other person know that it was going to happen. But then I found out that maybe there's a stop sign involved at some point where someone just goes, what are you doing? Well, I guess I was pretending to rape you. I mean, really, because when you get right down to it, that's kind of what it is when you're in bed and you're like going at it and just like, oh yeah, I'm going to fucking just tear this off and I'm going to bite this. And it's like, wait a second, hold on. You're the reason that hotel investigative reporters bring in black lights into hotel rooms. Will you slow the fuck down, please? Because you're about to get DNA all over this fucking place. Yes, that's the point. This whole room's going to be fucking Splash Mountain in about 10 fucking minutes. Let's get it on. That's right. I go Marvin Gaye on you. Let's get it on. Let's do some sexual healing. Heal this shirt up. All right. So I showed up here to take Lily to lunch. I wasn't showing up to take Lily to lunch. I was showing up to do a podcast, but I called her because it was early. I got up this morning. I went to the gym. I don't know if I mentioned I went to the gym, folks. Oh, yeah. Tore it up. Did some cardio after. Just did like a mile and a half today. Here's the thing. I've been told by my trainer, actually over a mile and a half. I did 1.66 miles. Because my trainer's just like, dude, you should only do like 20 minutes of cardio after you lift. I'm like, why, dude? I got to lose weight. I got to do all that. He goes, no, because then you're just biting into muscle mass and stuff. We're lifting hard. So then you just do the 20 minutes of cardio. And so I throw it on random, go up some hills, do some fucking damage. Oh, and then there was a girl today at the gym. God damn it. All right, in the gym, our cardio is like eye in the sky. Like they have the treadmills, they're all up on a second level, and the level overlooks the weight room and then the other room where they have like a yoga class or some bullshit going on. It's where all the heavy bags are, where you can go in there and fucking, I've actually gone to that room. This will sound stupid, but I don't give a fuck. I get, when I go to the gym, I get amped up, and I'll lift and do the lifting, and then you get cardio, and it's like, I don't ever leave tired, really. I feel beat because of what I've done, but I'm fucking energized. Like I think I limit myself at the gym. I do. I could probably, I bet I could work out for like 5 hours. I mean, I really could. because I'm the one I make myself stop because in my head I'm just like, oh, this is boring, or I don't want to do this anymore. But in fucking reality, I could go 8 miles on the treadmill, or I could go lift a billion pounds. I mean, I probably could do all that. It's just that I tell myself arbitrarily, my head makes the decision that it's time to leave, and it's because I have this weird ADD where I'm like, I can't be in this room any longer. I don't want to be here anymore. But I'll lift, and then I go up on the treadmill, and then I will get up there for Eye in the Sky, and I will. All right, so I got lost. All right, so the other room where they have the yoga classes and the heavy bags, I have gone and lifted and then done cardio, and then after doing cardio, I will go in that room and dance. And it's so funny because the people on the treadmills, I will see them. Everybody is looking at me because it's ridiculous because they are all hearing different music. You know, they're hearing the gym's fucking mix. So they had like today at the gym, I couldn't believe it. It played Somebody Told Me by the Killers, and then it played YMCA by the Village People. And it's like, so it's like that kind of fucked up mix. But then when I go and do cardio, I just go into my fucking earbuds and I climb into my iPod and I disappear. Well, I had a fucking playlist that was all like dance songs. So I would switch to that after the cardio and I would go in and I would just dance. Huh?
I love this.
Well, it's ridiculous, but I don't, because I really like dancing. Like, I mean, I love it. And I'm not bad at it.
No, you're not. You're good. You got a rug on.
All right, that's all nonsense. But I just love it. I love doing it. So now look, I got to be honest with you. If I'm with a Les Gephardt, I'm not going to be dancing often because apparently he sees that as his cue to start dancing with me. And I'm going to say, Les, I'm sorry, we're not dancing. I don't know if you ever listened to that show, but he never wrote me. Like, he never wrote me to go, dude, but I dance in that room by myself. And there are people doing yoga. And that's the thing is, it's like, I always think because people are looking at me because it looks ridiculous. I mean, I'll dance like all over the fucking place and do like, but I'm dancing to what's in my earbuds and they're hearing different music. But at the same time, you know, there's people doing crunches and they're on Bozu balls and fucking throwing kicks and doing lunges. And it's like, what? I don't look that stupid. I mean, I think I kind of look stupid, but I guess I don't look that stupid compared to someone. Dude, lunges are ridiculous. When somebody gets fucking 10-pound weights and they do the fucking lunge walk all the way across the room. Oh my God, you look fucking stupid. I mean, really. Get some earbuds and throw on some Daft Punk and dance the night away, goddammit. Better yet, throw on Dance the Night Away and dance the night away. That's even more, it's even better. For symmetry, do that. You know, Dance the Night Away, I guess, kind of has a groove that you can dance to, but I would not dance the night away to Dance the Night Away. I have to be honest. I don't know if there's a Van Halen song I would dance the night away to.
Jump?
Nah, that's not really a bop and dance song. Let me think. Let's go through the entire catalog. Album 1. All right, so I was at the gym this morning, and I did that, and I did some dancing, and then I left. Another thing I do when I leave the gym. Again, folks, you think I'm crazy. I don't care. I leave the gym, and I'm all fucking sweaty and horrible. But instead of going right to my car, I will walk out of the gym out to the parking lot where the sun is, and I will stare at the sun for like 2 minutes and just breathe. Just with my face turned toward the sun and the breeze blowing in your face, because you're alive. You're so alive. And my friend Brian Noonan he put it a great way when he was like, every step I take into the gym at 5:45 a.m. I feel worse, and then every step I take leaving the gym I feel much better. And I completely agree with that. You know what I mean? Because the hard part for me is getting up and getting dressed and getting out the fucking door. The second you get out the door and you're there, you fucking kill it. And then when I walk out of the gym, dude, I came home from the gym 2 days ago, and you know, it's January. It's like 84 degrees here in Los Angeles. I walked out to the parking lot and I was just in the sun, and I'm looking up at the sun, and it's sun in my face and the breeze, and I got in the car and I drove home, and I just sat at the pool. Like I went up by the pool, and it was too gorgeous to go inside my apartment. I just had to stay outside. And I don't say this to rub it into you guys. You know, eventually the thaw will come. And then the seed, with the sun's love, in the spring will become the rose. I have to tell you all that. So please know that that's on your horizon there. Midwest and East Coast people, and people in Zanzibar. And people in Australia, I will tell you this, it is way too hot by you. I know in Australia it's crazy hot. It's like, because people are like fucking dying at a tennis match. Which, no big loss, let's be honest, but still. Although, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure they're nice people. I don't want people to die. It seems weird that I'm rooting for people to die. Listen, I demand that you die of heat stroke if you live in Australia. Not all of you. Some of you can stay alive. What if I declared the entire continent? I want the entire continent to die of heat stroke, and I just waved my hand and it happened. What if I did that? What if I brought cholera to the masses? Like Rocky Mountains, the stripper who I banged in year 1. Well, I didn't bang her in year 1. I banged her a long time ago and told you about it in year 1. By year 1, look what you missed. You missed me fucking a stripper who's going to kill the entire world with cholera. How do you miss that story? Sometimes I hear those stories back and I go, I want to tell them again. Because I think I would tell them better now if I told them the right way. Instead of just sitting around and just firing off whatever comes out of my fucking brain. But then I think, but that's what you do now, stupid. And yes, I do call myself stupid. And then Kevin Kline comes in and goes, don't call yourself stupid. All right. That's right, Kevin Kline. How great is Dave as a movie, by the way? I like the movie Dave. You like the movie Dave? Why are you laughing at me?
Because you look like a zebra.
Well, this is your fault. So, all right, let me get to that now. So then I got home from the gym, and I was, like I said, I was all, today was a hurry-up day because I had to get a haircut at noon. So I got home at like 10 after 11. And so I put water on for oatmeal because I'm 85 years old. I had to put water on for oatmeal and then jump into the shower. And I got to be honest with you. You know what, folks? That's a lie. I just lied to you. I got home, and in my head I went, you know what? I don't want to eat oatmeal because I don't have time to eat a bowl of oatmeal. I got to get my hair cut. I can't believe I told that lie. You know why? Because it makes me look stupid the other way, but who fucking cares? Full disclosure, here's what happened. I said I can't have oatmeal because I just don't have the time. It's 11:10, so I got undressed, and I turned on the shower, and then I jumped in the shower, and I went, wait a minute, I want oatmeal. So I got out of the shower dripping wet, and I walked all the way through my apartment completely soaked, and I put water on for oatmeal. And stood in my kitchen naked, dripping, like literally a puddle all over the goddamn ground. Luckily, no soap yet. Soap had not entered the equation. I just got in and I put my head under the water, and I was soaked wet. And then I was like, "Fuck this! I got to go put some water on for oatmeal." And again, why did I lie about that? Because it made me look stupid. So then I go back in the shower and I finish showering and I get out and I get dressed. And guess what I did, folks? I turned the water off and dumped it out and I had a yogurt. I didn't have oatmeal because I didn't have time to have fucking oatmeal, and I knew that, goddammit. But yet I still made myself get out of the shower and drip all over the fucking rug and put on water to boil. What the fuck is wrong with me, goddammit? So I had a yogurt instead. I had yogurt and blueberries. Apples and cinnamon yogurt and blueberries. That's what I had for breakfast. And then I got out of the car and I went to go get my hair done. Whatever they call it. I had a buzz. They call it a buzz. I got a man's cut, because I'm a man. And I went and saw Missy, my hairdresser person, who's also an online model. I won't give her a website and I won't give her name because I don't know if she wants me to give that sort of information. But I can tell you that she's very attractive. And she's a lovely woman and knows a lot about hair and follicles. Because I forced her to have that discussion with me today as I'm like, listen, here's the thing. My hair is falling out in a way where it makes me think it hates me. Like it cannot get away from me fast enough. What's happening? What should I do to my head? And then we had that long conversation. So I called Lily and I said, it was like 12:30 and I was supposed to be here at 2 o'clock to do the podcast. Ostensibly to do the podcast. But I said to her, it could have been for any other reason, but I said, no, I'm coming in to do the podcast at 2 o'clock. And so I called her at 12:30. I said, what are you doing? And she said, I'm naked on the internet. I said, yes, I understand that. But what are you doing right now? And she said, well, no, that's what I'm doing. I'm in bed naked and I'm on the internet. I said, oh, I thought you meant you were naked on the internet somewhere. She goes, well, it's better than being in my quinceañera dressed and surfing porn. And I said, it is better than that because you're naked. Well, I mean, I liked the dress. We'll get to that. But I mean, if you're going to be naked, that makes the story that much better always. So I said, well, how would you like to have some lunch? And she goes, I would love that because I was just thinking if I should tell you to bring me some food because I'm hungry and I don't know what I should do. I said, well, I can come by and we can go have some lunch before we record the show. She said, great, I'll get dressed. I said, don't do that. I just said I was going to come by and we can go to lunch. She goes, well, yeah, but we're going to go out in public. And I said, I could bring something over. She goes, come over, shut up, click. So that's what I did. So I came over, shut up, and clicked. And I was downstairs. And I said, let's go to lunch. And I took her to a restaurant called Ink Sack. And Ink Sack, as I've mentioned on here, I think, because they make the spicy pineapple that I enjoy, and they make some great sandwiches. And I said to her, I go, how do you feel about sandwiches? This is who Lily is as a person, all right? Lily gets in my car, and she's also, she's the worst kind of picky in that she's not picky at all. she'll go wherever you want to go, and I can't have that. Because then I spend the entire time thinking, what if she doesn't like this? What if she does like this? I need to know if she likes this. Will she like this? Will she like the things that they offer? Will she be able to eat anything here? I don't know if she can eat anything here. I think that all the time. And so I go through my head, and I'm trying to figure out exactly if that's true or not true. And so I said, look, how do you feel about sandwiches? And she goes, I feel that they exist. And I said, thank you, Sartre. Let me ask you a few more questions about food and its existence. Thank you, Jean-Paul. And I said, well, look, there's a place called Ingsac, but I don't know if you'll like it, but it's fancy sandwiches. She goes, well, I don't know. What's fancy sandwiches? I go, I don't know. She goes, well, they have a roast beef. I go, I think they may have some roast beef on the premises, but they tart it up. They whore it up with like capers and shit. And she's like, I'm sure I can find something to eat there. I said, okay, that's great. And then I proceeded to turn around. And she says, what are you doing? And I said, I'm calling an audible on the sandwiches. She said, why? I said, because I don't know if you'll be able to find anything to eat there. She goes, I can eat a fucking sandwich. It's fine. I go, yeah, but if I go somewhere I know that you like, then that's that. And she goes, well, I'll go there. How will I know if I ever like it if I won't try it? I have to try new things to know if I like them, right? And that's a pretty good philosophy, right? When you think about it. Whether it's sandwiches or fucking, that's a pretty good philosophy all the way around. So I was like, yeah, actually, so you'll go? She goes, yeah. And here's the funny thing. I could have just gone to a different restaurant and not told her, but I wanted to go to the sandwich place, so I made sure I told her, hey, I'm calling an audible on the sandwich place, so she would then tell me to go to the sandwich place to reiterate that we should go. Well, kind of, maybe. I don't know if I'm really crazy.
Kinda?
Well, I don't know.
Maybe?
See, I don't think that you're right. All right, so I'm only like partially crazy about some things. Like I need you. Here's what I need. I need you to go, oh my God, I can't wait to go to the sandwich place, Mike. It sounds so great. That's what I need as a person. Instead of, I'll find something to eat there. Because guess what? That applies fucking anywhere. In a grocery store, in an alley, it doesn't fucking matter. You'll find something to eat there if you want to. But in the larger picture, yes, an alley. You could, if you really wanted to, if you were properly motivated, if you went to an alley, you could find something to eat there if you wanted to.
I don't think I could. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna call the alley for the food.
Well, you're talking about Lily now. I'm talking about Lily run down on her last legs.
I don't think I've ever eaten in an alley.
No, I'm talking in the future.
No.
When future Lily has fallen on hard times and she needs to find something to eat and she finds herself in an alley, you could technically say, I could find something to eat here. So don't tell me no. That's why in the car, when it's like, I can find something to eat there, I don't, no. I need you to embrace the idea of the sandwich. That's what I need. I need a cheerleader. I need a champion. I need a sandwich champion.
Go sandwich!
You know what we need? We need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero. I'm not going to lie to you. Oh, he's got to be strong, and he's got to be, oh, sure, I'm holding out for a hero. All right, so that was a long way to go to get to that sandwich thing that just came out of my brain. All right, so, folks, hold on, let me adjust this microphone.
I do not need a hero.
But you could find something to eat anywhere. So I didn't care for that answer. But then she then proceeded to massage my ego and tell me, no, it's good. I really want to go there. I really do. And I was like, yay. So we went to the sandwich house. And then we got out of the car. We walked across the street, and Lily took my arm like a lady and then proceeded to make fun of it. I was like, I offered my arm to be a nice person to escort you across the street. And she's like, we look so stupid in that mirror. I'm like, oh, my God, can't you just once enjoy anything? Spoken from the guy who never enjoys anything. So,
Yeah,
so then we went into the sandwich house, and I got a menu, and I was like, she can't read the menu because she didn't have her glasses, or her glasses, it's a different prescription, or she's just old. So she can't read anything. So I started to, here's what I did, because I'm a good guy. I started to read the menu aloud. I said, well, they have like a turkey melt, and they have a bacon, lettuce, tomato, and then they have a turkey club. And she's like, nah. She goes, I can read the chalkboard, Mike. It's bigger on the chalkboard. I go, yeah, but then they have like a banh mi, and then she goes, I can read the chalkboard, Mike. And I said, okay. And then she goes, they have tuna salad. They have egg salad. Those are great. I go, yeah, but they're like fancy. She goes, well, what do you mean? And I go, well, like the tuna salad is like a sriracha tuna. It's like a spicy tuna. She goes, oh, I don't want that. I go, well, then we can ask them to hold the sriracha possibly. She goes, well, I can find something to eat here. It's fine. Tuna salad is good, or egg salad. And then I looked at the menu and I said, oh, okay, well, the tuna salad has olives and egg and tuna and mayo and lettuce and tomato. She goes, no lettuce and tomato, but otherwise it's good. I said, okay. Hey, they have like a Cuban sandwich. And she goes, no. And I go, okay, they have a turkey melt. And I go, no. And I go, well, they have a turkey club. Like, it's got bacon, lettuce. She goes, I just said I wanted the tuna salad. Why are you telling me about the other sandwiches? Well, because I've been here a lot and I really like it here, and I just wanted to tell you about all the sandwiches that they have. It's a sandwich place, Mike. I recognize that they have other sandwiches, but I've chosen my sandwich, so we're good. I said, oh, okay. Well, they have crab chips. Do you want crab chips? She goes, no, I can't eat crab. I can't eat shellfish. I go, well, it's not really crab. It's Old Bay seasoning. She goes, I don't want it. I'm going to get some. You should try some. I don't want any. I go, what do you like better, crab chips or pork rinds? She goes, I don't like either. I go, well, I could get a bag of each and you could try both. She's like, no. I said, they have salt and pepper chips. She goes, oh, that sounds good. All right, I'll get you salt and pepper chips because I know you want some of those. And I'll still get some crab chips just in case you want to try them. She's like, whatever. So I literally, Lily and I went out for a sandwich and it cost me $40 because I bought all this pineapple for myself too. I bought a bunch of spicy pineapple.
$10 worth of pineapple.
Well, I bought a lot of pineapple, certainly. But then I ordered Lily's sandwich without lettuce and tomato. And then I ordered my sandwich. I got a banh mi, a little Vietnamese sandwich. It's got a little onion spread on there. It's got a little chicharron. It's got some jalapeno. So then we got our food. And Lily saw my shirt. And I should tell you what I'm wearing. I'm wearing I'll tell you what I was wearing. I have two shirts on. And I do this expressly with these particular shirts. All right. I have a gray shirt on as the underneath shirt. That's my base. That's the base of my shirt pyramid. The gray shirt. Because I will tell you this.
You pulled it up and held it.
Well, I'm trying to because I feel half naked now that you've torn me apart. You're tearing me apart. That's James Dean from, is it Rebel? Is he in Rebel Without a Cause doing that? Yeah. Is that what that's from? But you know where I know it's from? I know it from Jim Carrey doing James Dean in Earth Girls Are Easy. You're tearing me apart. That's my impression of Jim Carrey doing an impression of James Dean. So I have the gray shirt is the base of my shirt pyramid, and over the gray shirt, folks, I have a black shirt that I've owned for. I've had this shirt probably for 15 years. It's a T-shirt.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Okay. And it's seen better days. It's got a hole in the pocket, certainly. And then it had a hole above the pocket. And it has holes in the underarms, and it has a hole on the shoulder, and it has a big hole on the back, and that's with kind of a flap hanging. And my favorite part about the whole shirt, again, hole in the back, hole on the shoulder, hole on the pocket, hole in the pocket, is on the right sleeve. There's a patch. Because this shirt got snagged. This used to be a stage shirt. I would wear a black T-shirt on stage, and this shirt got snagged once on a hook. And my friend Karen, who you may recognize, she was on this show for the first 5.5 years. No, first 5 years, and then she moved on to her own spinoff. But she patched up this shirt for me, and then of course the rest of it fell apart. But I don't wear it on stage anymore. But I keep it, and here's why I keep it, folks. Because it makes me feel like a grown-up when I wear it. And I tried to explain this to Lily, because Lily looks at me and she goes, oh my God, she goes, your shirt is just terrible. And I go, well, no, it's just like a knock-around shirt. She goes, yeah, but you don't need a knock-around shirt. You need to buy some new clothes. I go, yeah.
You need to buy some new clothes. I said, you need to buy some new shirts. The T-shirts.
Same thing.
Well, no.
Why would you make a distinction?
Because I don't want people to think that I'm telling you your whole wardrobe sucks. I'm just like, you need to buy some new shirts. This one's seen better days.
Well, I told her, I said, well, the thing is, look, I have some shirts that fit, and then I have some shirts that don't fit because I am always in flux. As we know, I've lost like 70 pounds recently. So I told her, I go, well, I will have to buy clothes once I lose more weight. She goes, no, see, you can't think that way. She goes, live in the present. Don't think about the future. Live in the present now, and you need to look good now. So you need to go get some new shirts. I said, yeah, I get that. I understand that. And maybe you're probably right. She goes, no, I am right. She goes, you know why you wear a shirt like that? She goes, because you don't think you're worthy of wearing better shirts. She goes, you are accepting of garbage because you think maybe that you're garbage and that's how you should present yourself to people. And I go, there's a lot of talk about a fucking shirt. Now who's going crazy with the fucking menu? And she's like, well, no, you just think it's acceptable to present yourself like that. I go, no, I go, all right, look, I will just tell you this. Honestly, I wear this shirt because it makes me feel like a grown-up. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, because grown-ups have weekend clothes. Like during the week, they're all in their suits. And then on Sunday, when they're going to listen to the baseball game and water their lawn, they pull out their old favorite ratty shirt and they throw it on and they knock around their house. I go, so that's what I feel like. I feel like a man when I wear the shirt because it's like I'm not working, so I can wear whatever I want, like some knock-around shirt, and and I'm a grown-up. And she goes, you are a crazy person. And I'm like, yeah, but I recognize it. You know what I mean? I tell you the reason. Like, I'm not making up some bullshit. I'm telling you flat out why I want to wear this fucking shirt.
Are you coming over to knock around and mow my lawn?
Well, you were naked when I called.
But it wasn't like you were going to the place to clean the kitchen so we could have food. You were wearing a knock-around shirt out in public.
Yeah, but because I'm knocking around, man.
But you aren't.
And also because the good shirts that I have to be held for the good occasions.
And lunch with me isn't a good occasion.
Well, this is the thing that made me laugh, is then you're like, you present yourself as garbage because you think of yourself as garbage. If you really think about it, I was coming to see you.
I know. I was like,
Right.
wow.
So who do I think of as garbage in this equation?
It's not very nice.
Oh, all right. Well, don't worry. I don't think I'll be wearing this shirt again.
No, I don't. Well, you might.
No, you did a fucking job on it. And then you wrote on it with fucking like a white. I look like an anti-rape PSA. You know what I mean? It's like
Kind of a
with like
little.
words scrawled on me and fucking torn shirt. Jesus Christ. So she said in the restaurant, she goes, I'm going to tear your shirt before we leave here. And I go, nah, don't do that. And she goes, let's pretend we have a fight. And then I was like, I'll tear your shirt. And I was like, all right, now actually that sounds pretty cool. Like that I'll do. And this restaurant has like a big chalkboard. And so you can write on it with chalk and stuff like that. So we started writing things with chalk. And by we, I mean Lily. Or did she? Not me, but Lily did. She wrote, Lily was here. And then I wrote, so was Brooks. And then she's writing other things, and we're having fun and taking pictures, and everybody's like, why are those two idiots writing on the chalkboard? Because we are, because it's fun. But I was waiting for the fake fight to start, because I thought she was going to write something questionable, and then we would have to have some sort of fake fight over it, and then she's going to rip my shirt and run out. Because by the time we were finished eating, there was a big crowd in this joint. That was about 30 people.
I was a little intimidated.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that would have been perfect, though. You should have started the crazy fake, because I'm on board for that. But when you get me here and you tear my shirt off in the fucking privacy of your own oldest building in Hollywood, that's not fun at all for anybody. Well, all right, maybe it's fun for you. I didn't realize you wanted to get knocked around and have your lawn mowed.
I don't. I wanted to rape you and put you in the rape shirt.
Well, I'm in it. I'm clearly in it. Should we post this picture now or post it? Yeah, right?
Later.
You took a photo. All right. Yeah, so now but now I want
Send it to Max and have him make it the picture. You in your rape shirt.
to That'll go over well. So now I'm like, I'm all torn up, like it's all hanging off me and stuff, and I feel.
You know you can take that outer shirt off.
No, I can't. I'm doing a show. Talking to people. Nobody wants to hear me. It's bad enough they had to hear me get abused and violated on the air. You think Keith does that to the girl? No. She'd lose her fucking mind.
You still have a shirt on. It's
You think my brother and my brother beat up on me? No, they don't. My brother and my brother are fine, but then me, he's just like, he's off to the side. They don't fucking gang rape him. Nobody jumps him and tears his shirt off. If Allison Rosen is my new best friend, do you think she would do this to me? I don't think she would. You might need to see someone, man, because this is fucking rough.
Yeah.
You think the crew would stop podcasting yourself? They should stop ripping the shirt off yourself. No, stop podcasting yourself. That's the name. You think Mark Maron, the host of Watch the Fabric, you think he's attacking his guests and tearing their fucking clothes off? No, he's not.
Afraid to get germs.
He's doing it psychically. He tears them down that way. But he's certainly not tearing anybody's shirts off. Watch the Fabric deserved a lot more from you people, by the way. I think I can say that solidly, because I know out there you scoffed. Don't scoff. Don't scoff at a guy wearing half a shirt. You know what I need? A scoffier. I don't even know what that is. I just know the word.
I think it's funny that you can't just take that outer shirt
I can't.
off.
Well, no, I have earbuds on.
You are okay.
With earbuds on, you can't. Look, I run into this dilemma all the time at my house because now I live in earbuds. So I'll come home from the gym and I'll be listening to music, and I'll go ahead and I'll be like, all right, I got to take my shirt off now. But I can't. Don't you dare put the scissors down and sit down. That is not happening.
Cut the shirt off
No, it
first.
stays on. I'm wearing this the whole. This is a badge of honor. Is that you don't get the rest of me. You don't get it. You don't.
I was just trying to be helpful so you aren't uncomfortable.
I'm not uncomfortable, but I just now I'm fidgety.
Holding it up and holding it
Well,
like
because I
a
want it to
giant
fucking
baby.
cover me. Because you know why? And there's another thing. This gray thing doesn't look great on me. Like it fits. All right,
I
look.
think it looks great on you.
Yeah, great. I got what you did there with the gray.
I think it looks great
It
on
doesn't.
you.
No, I'm starting to wear color again because I've lost weight. So it's like it's in gray's not color. But I have red and I have like fucking maroon shirts and all that and green. I love green. I can't find any good green shirts. Like I have 2 green shirts, but they're soft green. I want like a hunter green or a hard green or a forest green because my eyes will fucking blaze. But like I can't fucking find it. So I got to go with like soft green, which is okay. I mean, I have 2 shirts that are kind of soft green. One's more of a pea green. Hey man, I think about this shit. You might not think so because I walk out wearing a garbage shirt, but there was a purpose behind the garbage shirt. I wore it because I'm knocking around today. These are the shirts I wore like to my work when I told you they were giving me the look like, what are you doing? You should probably wear something different. And I'm like, what? I'm okay. All right.
Not now.
No, I can't wear this now. And now it's 15 years, man. I had this for 15 years.
Sorry.
You've totally. Oh, and that fell. I don't like the way that fell out. It was like, all right. But no, these gray shirts don't look good. Like color shirts look good, but gray shirts because I'm still fucking huge. So it's like, and I got.
It looks fine.
Yes, fine. I don't. Nobody wants to look fine. I looked better earlier with a full shirt on.
No,
Yes, I
you
did.
didn't. The
I
gray
did.
shirt was peeking out like,
Good.
help me!
No.
Help me get this garbage shirt off! I'm trying to breathe!
No, everybody was like, dude, that's a guy. That's a man right there. He goes gray and black. He goes steel and slate. That's how he does his business.
Do you know what they said? They said, who's the hot girl with the crazy leftover hair with that guy wearing a garbage shirt?
No. They said, how did Coal and Iron score that babe? That's what they said. That's what they're calling me. Coal and Iron. Hey, look at that fucking guy and look at his forearms and oh my God. And that girl in his arm, Jesus, she's amazing. Although I got to be honest, I was distracted by Coal and Iron for just a second. I didn't even notice the girl at first. She is hot, but still.
Honestly, I think everyone was looking at the chick in the yoga pants. I don't think
Whoa,
anybody
yeah,
cared
dude.
about
All right,
it.
yeah, that happened. Jesus Christ. So we're at lunch, and this girl comes in, and oh my Christ. I mean, the definition on this girl, and she had yoga pants on, which were just sucking like fucking second skin, slim, good body. Like you could basically see everything. It was so great. Oh my God, it was great.
It was hot.
And I looked at Lily and I said, "Thank God for yoga pants." And she said, "Yoda pants?"
I didn't hear you over the...
But the very
I
fact.
thought somebody was wearing like Yoda ironic pants in the middle of Hipsterville on Melrose.
The very
you
fact
know?
that you would think that I would go with Yoda pants, like that's a thing to even mention, it made me laugh.
We were in the middle of Melrose.
Yes.
I'm sure they sell Yoda pants there.
If you would have let me read the rest of the menu, you would have found that they do. If only I could have gotten to that section. I was still in the sandwich section. You got pissed off. I'm like, I haven't even gotten to the merch yet. They got goddamn ink sack bomb shirts and fucking Yoda pants.
They do have the weirdest shirts.
No, that logo's awesome. That's a cool looking logo.
It looks like a Pac-Man lunch bag ghost.
Yeah, but then
It's
he's got a
weird.
bomb wick on him. It's pretty cool.
It's weird.
I liked it. I like it. I like anything that's a little different. So yoga pants. Oh, wow. And I so then but what did you say? So I'm like, dude, look at yoga pants. And I was like, dude, I go that I mean, I just man, like it was that thing where I'm stammering like an idiot because I can't be too loud because she's right there. She's a stone's throw away. And Lily just looks at me and goes, too young. And I was like, what do you mean too young? And she's just like, yeah, she's too young for me. And I'm like, I don't know if, I mean, when you're looking, there's really no such thing. I mean, once you get to 18, obviously, you know, as long as it's 18 and over, I'm admitted to the movie. You know what I mean? I can buy a ticket and watch that show. And there's nothing wrong with that, I don't think. But then that spiraled off into a discussion about shaving and waxing. And Lily's like, yeah, I was having a conversation last night with like 6 guys, and we were like, we were talking about what we were going to do, and you know, we're talking about shaving and waxing, and I said, you know, here's the thing, guys, when I'm going down on a girl, and she like finishes the thought, and she said she looks around and there's 6 dudes just staring at her slack jawed, and she looks up and she's like, what? And then one guy goes, you're serious? And she goes, yeah. And then of course they all awkwardly hid their eyes and walked away.
Pretty much.
Because Lily told me, she's like, I was in a room the other day with 6 guys that I've had sex with and 2 girls that I've had sex with. They were all in the same room.
Awkward.
She said it was awkward. And she said, she goes, I don't think I'm going to rest until I've had sex with all of my friends.
Seems that way, I think.
And which makes me, now that explains why she's so slow to add Facebook friends. She's still making her way through the present list. She's only up to the G's. Which is good news for Les. Uh, so then we came here and you heard what happened, and now I sit here in a torn. I mean, it's just, dude. I don't know. I don't understand it. 15 years I've had this shirt. Really? Oh my Christ. And I mean, I really looked forward to wearing this shirt. Like these were the days where I would go, oh, cool. That it was because it meant I was off. It was like literally, I'm like, well, I got a day off. I can wear that shirt today because it meant something. This shirt meant something to me. And now it's so many rags. But I'm not kidding you. It would hang in there. The two of them hung together. They always hung together because they were a set. This gray coal and iron. That's what they were. Coal and iron were in the closet together. And I knew when I was like, oh, I got a couple days off, or I can throw those on, and because I can just relax. I don't have to be anything to anybody. I don't have to impress anybody, and I certainly wouldn't in this shirt. But I knew that I didn't have to. So I was like, you know what? Just throw on coal and iron, old coal and iron. That's what I used to call them. And those days are gone now. And I will say this, two things. One, coal, not even the worst shirt in my closet.
Don't wear it here.
I have another shirt that is infinitely worse than this one. Well, not now, but yeah. And two, it is a good thing you didn't see my boxer briefs. All right, so no, that's a lie. I don't fuck around with that. I don't. The second there's any sort of like weird wear, it's just like I toss them immediately. I don't fuck around. I'm not that guy who was like, hey, I got underwear from 40 years ago. No, that's not me. Although I wish I did have underwear from 40 years ago. I was 6. All right, look, the cat's out of the bag. I didn't wear underwear 40 years ago. I was a free baller all the way up till 2 years ago. I didn't own any underwear. No, I'm a boxer brief guy. You guys know that. I've been a boxer brief. Well, I was a boxer. Well, I've been a brief. I was a brief guy as a kid, and then certainly briefly, and now a boxer brief guy. And but I did free ball for a while. I did because I thought that was the thing to do. Like when I lived in Tahoe, I don't think I wore underwear ever. I was bouncing and going out to nightclubs, and I was rediscovering who I was as a person, and I was like, you know what? It was literally, it coincided with me losing my virginity. Whereas like I fucked Candy, and then I'm like, you know what? That's it. I don't have to wear underwear ever again. Because this thing now, I need easy access at all times. Who knows when I'm gonna have to fucking pull this thing out? I got married women to bang. I can't get one other layer of clothing through because I just barely tricked them into having sex with me as it is. Once you start having sex with people, you're like, God damn it, I need as little clothing as possible on so they don't change their fucking mind in midstream. That's a window into what men think. We are constantly terrified that any delay at all will force you to run out the door. It's why men don't even want to wear condoms. I'll be honest with you. It's not even about the feel of condoms, all right? It's about the fact that we are worried that when we put it on, as we're putting it on, you're going to see how stupid we look while we're putting it on. You're going to go, I can't fuck that. I got to get the fuck out of here. You know the guy who invented condoms, he had a teenage daughter. That was the only reason he invented condoms. Not that he didn't want her to get pregnant. He didn't want her to have sex at all because he knew that the second she saw somebody putting a fucking condom on, she'd go, this is stupid. I'm leaving. And that girl's name was Baby Ruth.
Oh my
God. Yeah, I don't, no, not today. Another time, not today.
Oh my God.
I have some thoughts on that topic, but I'll share them with you another time. Are you kidding me? Seriously? 40?
Yeah.
Dude.
43.
What have I talked about? I haven't talked about anything. I talked about a sandwich and my shirt got torn off. That was it. Jesus, 43 minutes. You know, dude, that's almost a podcast. Really, when you think about it, like for other people.
Well, normally, yes.
Yeah. For other people, that's almost a podcast right there. They'd be hitting into some wrap up now. They'd be reading viewer mail and saying goodnight. I mean, I don't know if they'd be doing all that stuff. I don't listen to other podcasts. I didn't listen to my podcast. Actually, I'll tell you, I did listen to a podcast. I'll tell you this. Why not? Let's throw this out there, folks. A few weeks ago, you may have heard me talking on a show here about meeting somebody at a convention. It was a convention of some sort because I'm a Shriner. I had a fez on and I was driving a big wheel around hotel hallways and I ran into somebody. I could never figure out what Shriners are. Like I guess it's like the Loyal Order of the Moose. My dad was a moose. You're a moose, aren't you? A moose?
I was, not anymore.
You're out of here. You're 86, the moose. I went to a party at that Moose Lodge, didn't I? Did I talk about it on here?
Yes.
Like 800 old hillbillies and you taking your clothes off? That sounds like, you know what that is? That's the dream of all those hillbillies. Like literally, they've all had that same dream at one point, and then I walked into it. I was like, oh my Christ, this is happening. That was fucking weird. I won't lie. I'm in a Moose Lodge, and Lily's got girls stripping, and there's just a 10-foot party sub. Well, I should tell you this. First, there was pizza.
Yes.
And then I said, I'm sorry, I'm holding out for a hero. And then the 10-foot party sub arrived. And I said, I can stick around now.
Oh, Christ.
And I'll tell you this, at Inksack, the sandwiches are not, they're tiny. They're like little hyphen sandwiches. All right. What was I talking about? Something good, probably.
You were talking about layers of clothing.
Podcasts. I said I attended a convention a few months ago, and I ran into our friend Alice, who I talked about here on the show. And it turns out that Alice has started her own podcast.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because that was one of the reasons she was at the Podfest, was because she was stealing information and ideas from real podcasters, and when I'm going to implement these and do them better than anybody ever has.
That's funny.
That's how smart people work it, folks. They worm their way in, and they talk, and they make friends, and they're like, hey, this is great, I'm collecting a lot of knowledge, and then they beat you at your own game. It's terrible. So she put out her podcast called Tea with Alice. And I listened to it last week, and there were a couple up. I don't know how many there are up now, because that would mean subscribing. And so she's got those up, and I was like, well, I'll give these a day in court. And literally, I went to court. I actually had a speeding ticket, and I took them to court with me. So no, I said I would listen to them, and then I did. And I will say this: you should listen to Alice, because Alice is great. And when you hear the show, you know exactly what I mean. All right, so, but I thought Alice was, again, she just did a nice job. So I think perhaps that should be something that you should listen to when Alice is talking. All right, so I'm going to shut up now. Yeah. But the thing that's funny about it is, I listened to 2 episodes of their show, and those shows were 20 minutes long each, because they're normal people. They don't unleash the bees into a sandwich loop. They know exactly what they're doing. So they go ahead and they bust out a 20-minute podcast that entertains everybody. I come in here and what do? I stomp around. I mean, look, this show is not surgical at all. You know what it is? Actually, it's surgery. This show is surgery performed with a helicopter. That's what it is. It's like there's no delicate knife strokes and there's no intricate cuts. It is just a fucking guy getting tossed into a propeller, and there's blood and guts and viscera all over the goddamn place. But eventually, we'll get his liver out. It's gonna happen. I mean, we'll get to where we're going, but it's gonna be a goddamn mess. This show is like fucking trying to drive a nail with nunchucks. I mean, it looks fucking amazing. It's just going to take fucking forever. So I got to focus. That's what I got to do. We need to get this guy's liver out. Seriously, we need to focus. Eventually, it's coming sooner than you think. There was something I wanted to tell you guys about that happened a couple of weeks ago. And then real life interfered, and some things got jangled and jingled, and then my spurs also jangled and jingled, and then we rode merrily along for 2 weeks without discussing it. But now the time has come for me to tell you this story. It's not really a story. It's more of a recounting, more of a retelling, more of an anecdote. Just something happened to me that was totally cool. And look, why are you listening to the show if not to hear me talk about things that are totally cool, right? You remember that show I did all about Fonzie? Why wouldn't I do a show about Fonzie? He's totally cool. Remember the show I did about ice? I did a show entirely about ice. Why? Totally cool. And someone said, hey, could you do a show about the cigarette preferred by African Americans? And I said, absolutely. And that show was totally cool. People were furious. People were furious because they were like, shouldn't that show be about Parliament? Well, no, it shouldn't be. That show could have been totally Newport, but instead I went totally cool. And you may say to yourselves, Mike, how do you know so much about the African American preference in cigarettes? Well, my extensive retail background has led me to some conclusions, folks. And that's totally cool. So, remember that show I did about Miles Davis? The whole show is about Miles Davis. Totally the birth of cool. So, yeah, I'm stupid. I'm a stupid person. All right, so it's fun to be stupid, though. I dare to be stupid. That's what Weird Al would say. Weird Al, not cool. I guess he is. I keep hearing he's funny and cool and nice, and I don't know him and I've never met him, and I'm sure he's a wonderful person, but I can't get on board the Weird Al train. Mainly because the conductor has the weird in his name. That makes no sense at all. Why would I trust that train? Why would I sense that travel? Do you get in a pilot with Weird Joe driving it? No, you don't. Holy shit, that'd be awesome. If you're a pilot, change your name to Weird Joe. We actually have a pilot who listens. Hey, Weird Mark, be Weird Mark from now on. Put it on your goddamn name tag. And say, no, don't even put it on your name tag. If you could have seen how excited I was, I just had little T-Rex arms. That's how excited I was. I'm not joking. Dude, announce it on the plane. This is your pilot, Weird Mark, speaking. Oh my God. Just see if anybody notices. How perfect would it be? I would love it. I will now fly every flight with my earbuds out waiting for the captain to talk just to hear him say, this is Captain Weird Mark. Yes! You're goddamn right I stay on that plane.
Oh my God.
See, because that's a weird challenge. That would be awesome. Like if you're a cab driver named Weird Habib, nobody fucking cares about that. Everybody assumes a Habib is weird, but if you're Weird Mark and you're driving a plane, I stick around just to see what the fuck is going to happen. Every cab I get into, I figure, well, that's going to be Weird Habib and something weird is going to happen. On a plane, I don't expect anything weird. I expect like some, Corporal Mark, whoever the fuck is driving the plane. But no. Captain Weird Mark, that makes me stick around. All right. I can't believe I'm wearing half a shirt. That's not even a joke. Like, she still thinks that I should take it off. It's just like, I can't. It stays on me. It stays on forever. I'm going to wash this and hang it up.
Tear it off you completely before you leave and throw it away.
I don't think you should.
Yeah.
Because then I got to wear the gray shirt out. Iron is nothing without coal. So a couple of weeks ago, I'll tell you this. Well, it's so funny because I always think time has passed, so there's no reason to recount stuff. But
yes, that's why you never talked about your childhood ever.
well, that doesn't count. That's like a tale of woebegone from way in the past. But I mean, like stuff from just like 2 weeks ago. That doesn't seem like enough of a past to talk about it now. Like this is a story I should tell next September when football starts again.
No, you should tell it now.
Okay. But here's the thing. I don't know. You guys, honestly, although I guess I shouldn't bring you in on this because you're probably all making the same face that she makes. When I do that, when I have some sort of weird doubt or I try to dance around something, she just makes this face, this sad, like whatever. That's what it is. Not sad. It's just like, whatever, dude. Because she's just like, dude, shut up and talk. Which is weird. That seems weird. That seems like it wouldn't match, right? Shut up and talk. That doesn't seem to make any sense at all. But that's exactly what her face says to me. Shut up and talk. Dude, shut up and talk. Shut up or fight. Shut up or fight. Shut up and talk. All right, let's get it started. What if I started every story with that? Let's get it started. That's how I did the show. What if I did? I went Black Eyed Peas on every single story that I ever told. Let's get it started. And that's not even the name of that song. Really? You know what the name of that song is? Let's Get Retarded. I have the original album, Ella Funk, by the Black Eyed Peas, and the song is Let's Get Retarded.
They used the R word?
They certainly did. And they called it Let's Get Retarded. And then and somehow, somewhere along the line, someone said, hey, if you change one word in that, it will be a massive hit that they will play for 40 years. And so they did. They changed it from Let's Get Retarded to Let's Get It Started. Which, and then people loved it. Like, I mean, I don't know if people didn't like Let's Get Retarded. Because, again, like I said, I have the album. Yes, I have a Black Eyed Peas album. I don't know why.
That version.
Let's Get Retarded? I'll give it to you. I love the fact that they changed 2 letters and it became a massive hit. Because, when you hear that song, all they do is repeat, let's get it started or let's get retarded over and over.
Well, that's what chants and war cries are all about.
Yes, but why change the name then? Because if you've ever had a song for the retarded, it should have been, let's get retarded.
Oh my God, no!
Because all they do is say the same thing over and over. So it's easy for those sort of people to follow along with. Anybody who has some sort of dent in their head can follow along perfectly with Let's Get Retarded.
Oh my God.
Let's get retarded. Let's get retarded. And then it's like, yeah, of course. And actually, it's not bad because if it's not making fun of the retarded. It is telling the retarded that we want to be like you. Let's get retarded. If anything, it's a beacon of hope for the retarded of this nation to hear Let's Get Retarded. But then change it to Let's Get It Started. I'm not a fan. Don't do that. Hard to believe that the Black Eyed Peas would cave in on their artistic integrity and change that song. They should have stuck to their guns. But I love the fact that they changed from Let's Get Retarded to Let's Get It Started. They changed 2 letters and it became a massive hit. That says to me that America is always 2 letters away from being retarded.
That's very true. Those letters are I and Q. Ah, yeah!
You guys can get me at mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com.
Mike,
Yes.
tell me about it.
Let's get it started. Are the Black Eyed Peas still a thing? They're still a band, right? Were they even a band? I didn't think they were a band.
I see the gentlemen of color in the band at the castle.
They're all gentlemen of color in the band.
No, they aren't.
The fucking Black Eyed Peas are a mess. They are, literally. It's like, because that shows how retarded America is.
There's a color.
No.
There's an Asian and a chick.
Maybe you don't use colored in that context.
There's a color, and Asian and a chick.
You said a colored.
I did not say colored. I do not use the word colored, even when I'm referring to my TV.
I think there's 4 Black Eyed Peas.
No.
Are there just the 3?
Yeah, there's only 3. There's the Asian.
There's the
guy-
plagiarist, there's the guy who throws karate kicks, and the girl with the hottest stomach in the world. That's who it is. That's who's in the
there's
band.
3 of them.
And boy, if that isn't a successful recipe for music success, I don't know what is. Let's get a guy a weird albino looking dude who throws karate kicks. Let's get a guy who cheats on his taxes and steals from the Haitians, and then the girl with the hottest stomach in the world. Because Fergie does have a hot stomach. Oh my God, that stomach. Oh, let's get that stomach started. I see that stomach, I get retarded. If I were to meet that stomach, we would not be soon parted. When I see that stomach, I know where that album charted. Your response to my Black Eyed Peas chunk is fairly guarded. Wow, I actually think I heard that eye roll. So a couple of weeks ago, folks, there was still football in my life. I mean, there still is now. I enjoy football, but there was still football that was much closer to my heart. The Chicago Bears, as you know, I am a fan of the Chicago Bears. And earlier this year, I think it was in November, perhaps November 2nd. Well, no, maybe the show in Green Bay was November 2nd and the show was in November 4th. I kept mixing this up even when it was coming. But I had a show in Green Bay, Wisconsin, which went very well. And while I was in town that week, our friend and listener of the show, Jill, Catfight Jill, 5'0" Jill, she wound up scaring up some tickets for the Bears-Packers game in Green Bay. And I was shocked. I mean, I didn't think that was a possibility, but she was all about it, and she was able to make it work with her friends Dina and John, and then we wound up going to the game in Lambeau, which I talked about on here. And I talked about it at length because, if you recall, your Chicago Bears came away with a victory on Monday Night Football. And I was there to witness it. It was fantastic. And I was there with surrounded by Packer fans, including our friend Jill, who wore 9 Packer jerseys and Packer rings and Packer gloves and a Packer hat. And all of it looked sad. All of it frowned. I did not think that articles of clothing could frown, but they did that night as the Chicago Bears triumphed in Lambeau Field. And then, as you know, there was a bet involved where Jill had to wear my clothes.
Oh, yeah.
She had to wear the Chicago Bear jersey. And I took some pictures of that in the Chicago Bear jersey. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do this. And I made her put on a Chicago Bear hat. And I made her put on my Chicago Bears gloves. And then I took her to the stadium. And I made her stand by statues of very important Packer people. And I made her wear my Chicago Bears clothes. I'm just telling you, this is nothing that you don't know already. But I want to set the scene. I want to make sure you know what's happening. Because I dragged our friend Jill through the orange and blue mud. As a Packer fan, it's terrible to have to wear some sort of Chicago Bear clothing, and especially to have to go to Lambeau Field and wear the Chicago Bear clothing in front of other Packer fans and all of her friends. And then, of course, I put those photos on Facebook. Well, let's put it this way. I didn't put all of those photos on Facebook. I put one photo on Facebook. And then as the weeks passed, whenever the Bears would lose and Jill would be like, "Ha ha, Mike, the Bears lost," I would just put up another picture of Jill in a Bears jersey. And my favorite response was always, she'd be like, "Ha ha, Bears, you are the jerk of all jerks." And then my response would just be the picture of her in the Bear jersey, and she would just write, "Oh no," or "OMG." So some time passed, and the Packers went on an epic losing streak because they had lost their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, who is the savior of that team. If they did not have him, they would not be any good at all. But they have him. And the Bears also lost Jay Cutler, and they lost some games. So the way the season broke was the Bears were winning some games and losing some games, but the Packers were really losing some games. But then the Packers pulled out some fluky victories, and then they wound up having a tie with the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh no!
And that's going to be that plays a key part in this story. Okay, because they had a tie in the midst of their big losing streak. And then the Bears, like I said, lost Cutler and lost some games themselves. And as it started to get down to the wire, the second to last week of the season, the Bears needed the Packers and the Lions to lose. And all the Bears needed to do was win on Sunday Night Football, and they would win the division. It was going to be amazing. So that Sunday, I showed up in Venice, and unbelievably, it all broke well for me. The Lions lost during the day, which eliminated them from the playoffs. And the Packers lost. Now, but the thing is, the loss should have eliminated them. It should have kept them out. They should have definitely lost, and the Bears would have clinched the fucking division. It would have been great. However, the fucking Packers tied the Vikings. So they were like 8-7-1. Or no, 8-7-1, 8-6-1? I don't know what the fuck they were. 7-7-1? I can't remember this. It's fucking 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. But the point is, if the fucking Vikings had just finished off the Packers when they had the chance, none of this would have mattered. I'm not even telling you this goddamn story. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad that the Vikings tied the Packers, because otherwise, I'm not telling you this fucking story. So the Bears that night are playing the Eagles on Sunday Night Football, and they are gacked up, man. All they got to do is fucking win, and then they win the division. And then the Bears go out, and they lose 54-11. 54-11. That's not a football score. That's a zoning vote at a county board.
That's a lie.
I mean, 54-11. You got to work hard to lose 54-11. I mean, it is terrible. And I sat there watching it unfold. They were down 14-0, I think, in like 7 seconds. Again, it was this amazing record for the fastest points scored. They just got brutalized. They looked like, I mean, they didn't even belong there. It was terrible to watch. But what that did was it created a dramatic showdown the following week in Chicago. Because the Packers, thanks to the fucking Vikings, still had life. And we're going to come down to Chicago for a huge battle. It's a football game. It's not a huge battle. So Bears-Packers for the division title the last week of the year. And I should tell you this, Aaron Rodgers, who I mentioned, is the amazing quarterback of the Packers. Well, the Bears knocked him out when I went to Lambeau. They broke his fucking collarbone, so he missed all those games. All the losses, all the ties with the Vikings, all that other bullshit. No Aaron Rodgers. And he'd been hurt the whole time. It was like a big drama, like a big fucking soap opera in Green Bay. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Well, they didn't play him, and he never played, and they fucking lost. And then they lost that week against the Steelers, and I'm like, perfect. And then when the Bears, all they had to do was win the division, I'm like, good, the fucking Packers are dead. And then the Bears fucking lose, and then they set up this fucking showdown, and I'm like, they're going to play Rodgers. I know they're going to play Rodgers. But then I read some reports. They're like, well, Rodgers still might not be ready. Which is good. Because I didn't want the Bears to play him. Because he's really good. And I would have rather the Bears beat the shit out of Matt Flynn or whoever the fuck they had at quarterback for the Packers. But I knew. I mean, there was no way they weren't going to play him. Because how perfect is the storyline? The Bears break his collarbone and knock him out. The Packers go through this huge fucking tailspin. The Bears let the Eagles hang 50 on them. And then Rodgers is like, well, they're reeling. I'm fucking coming back. If I'm in a body cast, I'm coming back, right? He has to. So through all of this, I'm dealing with my own existential crisis of the Bears losing 54-11 on national television. And them having to have this fucking showdown. Through it all, I think even that night, I got home from work. And I went on to Facebook, and I just got a note. And it's from Joe Bublitz. And it says, literally, I open it up and it just says, Packers. That's it. The simplicity of it was brilliant. Just cut right to the heart of it. Packers. Because she knew the stakes. She knew it was important. She knew it was coming up. And so I was like, all right, well, that's fine. Good for you. You know what I mean? What am I going to say? So then the week goes through, and we're still waiting to see if Rodgers is going to play. And they had a press conference in Green Bay that rivaled anything you would have in Washington, D.C. with President Obama. I mean, it just this, the drama of it, and people are waiting to see if he's going to play breathlessly. I keep getting notes on Facebook from Jill. And it's, she actually says, we have to go to this game. It's only right. And the thing is, I don't even think she wants to go with me. Like, she doesn't care about that. She just wants to go to be there, to see the Packers, which she thought they were going to win, and she wants to be there for that. It's not even like put it this way. She doesn't want to go with me for companionship or fun. She wants to go with me to stab me in the fucking heart in case something bad happens. It's the only reason she wants me to go. It's not like she's like, dude, we had so much fun in Lambeau, we should go again. She's like, no, she's a mercenary, man. She wants me to fucking go so she can just fucking grind me. So she keeps saying we should go, and I'm writing. I'm like, yeah, I go, that's funny. I go, I already got my victory out of you this year. Just like back and forth, being silly. So then midweek, they have the press conference for the Packers, and they announced that Aaron Rodgers is going to play. And I should tell you, as important as it was in Green Bay, I was working in Hollywood at the time when they had the press conference. And I'm at work, and the guy comes to the podium, and they announce that Aaron Rodgers has been cleared to play. And it was like, I was expecting Walter Cronkite to cry. From Green Bay, Wisconsin, a flash, apparently official. Aaron Rodgers was cleared to play against the Chicago Bears at 12:30 Central Standard Time, 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago. It was fucking awful. I mean, I saw it and I went, I probably slumped like Michael Cera in Arrested Development, just walked away like fucking sad. Because I knew. And again, I still think the Bears are going to beat them. I'm like, fucking bring them to town because they still had other injuries. And it didn't matter. I mean, the Bears had some injuries, but I didn't give a fuck. It was going to be a showdown. And it made it that much more interesting. I was like, bring him on. I want to beat him with that fucking guy. You go through all those weird, like, denial, anger, and acceptance, all that bullshit. You're like, oh, no, not him. Well, it's okay. We can beat him. Yeah, I want to beat him with him. Oh, God damn it. And then my phone buzzed. Because apparently Jill decided that she had important news that couldn't wait for an email, and she texted me. And I just looked at my phone, and it said, Rodgers. And it's so funny to know a woman who's like a football fan, like a man, because that's the shit men do. Like, because you know why? It's dumb. It's like women don't get into that dumb stuff. But Jill was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna be as dumb as you now." And also, she'd had 8 weeks or 7 weeks of Bears photos that she had to deal with on fucking line. Rodgers. So I wrote her back, and I'm just like, you're still gonna lose. And she's like, well, we'll see. So the next day on Facebook, she posts on my timeline, she posts a video that a guy did of Aaron Rodgers coming back in the style of a movie trailer. In a world, like one of those things, and it's just him completing amazing passes and doing terrible things to the Bears. And it's on my timeline. And all it said was, hey, Mike. That's what she posted. Hey, Mike. And just that video. So in the comment section, I wrote, hey, Jill. And I put up another picture of her in a Bears jersey. And the best part is she writes, she goes, well, that backfired on me pretty quick. She writes that right under me. And I just wrote her and I said, I think you forgot just how many of these I have. Because I have 1 billion of them. Because every one I would put up was different. That was the thing. Whenever anything would happen, it was a different one. So she writes me on Facebook, and she's just like, they're not gonna win, and I'm just like, they're totally gonna win. And then she writes me back, and she's like, we should go to this game. And I mean that's just ridiculous now at this point. And I thought it was just like, it's just football fan talk. And I'm just like, yeah, we should. That'd be great. She's like, well, no, that would be, how amazing would that be? The last game of the year, Bears-Packers for the division. it would be incredible. And I wrote her and I said, well, I mean, it would be, but I mean, that's a lot of moving parts at this point in the day, you know, like, because it's Christmas week and I don't know what's going on and how she's got to handle it on her end. And I know on my end, I've got work scheduled. I mean, I had a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, it would have been amazing, but it just didn't make any sense. So she goes, well, could you go if we were to go and decide? And I went, fuck yeah, I'll go. Are you kidding me? Look, you don't have to ask me to do stupid shit more than once, all right? You ask me once, and I'll give you the out. I'll be like, yeah, maybe I could, but I don't know. There's a lot of moving parts. And you ask me a second time? Fuck yes. Get somebody else to bring the coleslaw. I'm fucking in if this is happening. So she's like, well, it just sounds like it would be a lot of fun, and I can get revenge. And I'm just like, yeah, fine. I mean, if it's going to happen, that'd be fucking great. Because I knew she wasn't going to get any fucking revenge. It was going to be hysterical. And also, I got to be honest, I knew it was never going to fucking happen. It's one of those things where you're like, yeah, this could happen, but it might happen, but it won't happen. But it should happen, right? Shouldn't this be fun? This would be totally fun. It's like winning the Powerball. Winning the Powerball would be fucking amazing. It's never going to happen. So I'm like, whatever. And she goes, well, why don't you see what you can do on your end, and I'll see what I can do on my end. And I'm like, dude, I don't have to do anything on my end. I got to make one phone call to somebody and go, hey, bring somebody else some barbecue sauce. I'm out. So she, we were talking about it, and finally she's just like, well, figure it out. See what you can do on your end. So, Christmas night, like, I honestly didn't really take it seriously, all right, because I didn't think it was a thing. And not even, again, not on my end. Like, on her end, I just figured there was no way it could happen. But on my end, who the fuck cares? So I figured, well, a shot in the dark. So I work with a guy, and like Christmas night at 3 a.m, because Christmas meant fuck all to me. I just sent him a note, and I'm like, this is ridiculous, 3 a.m. on Christmas night, but here's what I would need from you. Is there a way you can take, all right, I will not bore you with it, but the point is, it took 3 paragraphs to explain what I needed. Because I would have had to get rid of 2 work shifts and get somebody, not only that, but get somebody to cover them and then try to trade a shift. It was a mess. But again, what the fuck? What do I care? I'll do it. Because again, it's not really a mess. All it is just getting people to say yes. And dudes, I've been getting people to say yes for a long fucking time. Not enough people, but some people. So he writes me back and he's like, yeah, I can probably do that. I'll have to let you know. So I text her and I'm like, all right, listen. If you're serious, I'm serious. And I think I'm about 80% of the way there. So you figure out what you got to figure out, but just know that if it's going to happen, I'm around and I'm in. And I don't hear from her. So I figured it just kind of fell off the earth. So a couple days go by and it comes to be the 27th. I think it was the 27th, which was Friday. And the guy I work with texted me and he's like, hey man, because I didn't follow up with him. Because again, like I said, I figured it was done. And if I followed up with him and then he took all my shifts and then I didn't go, well, I was home and fuck out of the money. I mean, it was like, I couldn't take that chance. I was just like, just fuck it. Who cares? So all of a sudden I get a text from him and he's like, hey, he goes, if you still need me to do that stuff, I'm in. I'll take care of all of it. It's square. Now, by him saying that, like I said, that's 80% of the way. Now I got to get one guy to take another shift. And I'm close. Like I'm super close. So I send her a text out of the blue. I just went, look, I go, again, I don't know if you were really serious, but funny story. The guy who was going to cover for me at my one shift said that he would do it. And so I told him that this wasn't happening and it wasn't a problem and it was okay. And he didn't have to worry about it. I think 5 seconds went by. And my phone buzzed and I looked at it and she said, dude, I'm in. And I texted her back. I said, what? She goes, seriously, I'm in. If you're in, I'm in. And I couldn't figure out why she was saying that. I mean, like, it was almost like she was waiting for me to fucking say something. And I said, why? Are you serious? She goes, dude, didn't you see? Randall Cobb is also off the injured list. I said, what? She goes, Cobb's playing. Rodgers is playing. I'm in, dude. I'm in. Now, if you don't know who Randall Cobb is, he's the Packers' best receiver. And he's been injured for like 10 weeks. So now Rodgers, top 3 quarterbacks in the league, is back. Randall Cobb, top receiver on their team, is back. They are coming in loaded for bear. I went, okay. That's all I fucking needed. So I told Sean, I go, dude, you're in. Cover it. Then I had to get another guy to take another shift in Hollywood. I got him on the phone, and this guy is a nice guy, but he's like a Hispanic guy who, it was funny when I said to my brother, I go, hey, can I get this guy's number? And he's like, yeah, sure. Why? And I go, well, I'm trying to figure out a shift thing. And he's like, well, you got to let me know what's happening. I go, so no problem. I go, do me a favor. Is this a phone? Like, does he text? And he goes, he does not text. I go, God, I don't want to call his house and hear K 100 times. K. And he goes, here's the number. Good luck. Because I had to clear it with my brother, too. My brother's a Bear fan, though. So, of course, he's just going to go, yeah, good. If you can't, as long as everything's covered, I don't care. So I get the guy from Hollywood, and I get him, and he covers it. So now I'm 100% covered on that. Now all I got to do is figure out plane and hotel and all that bullshit. And, of course, tickets to the game. So I write her, and I go, I'm covered. I said, all I got to figure out is hotel and the plane, and if this is happening and what we're really doing. And she writes me back. She goes, Merry Christmas. And sends me a picture of tickets.
Oh, she bought tickets.
She bought tickets to an NFL game like 2 days before. I mean, dude, a division championship game. She was in. She seriously was in. She wasn't kidding. That's how, you know what? Don't ever devalue revenge as a motivating factor for people.
No doubt.
She got the fucking tickets, and then the best part is she took a picture of the tickets, and it's it's a Chicago home game, so the Bears helmet's on there, and she goes, I have no idea why the Bears helmet's on there. This is a Packers game we're going to. I said it is going to be so fun to see how sad you're going to be on Sunday. So that was what I got for Christmas this year. I got tickets to the Bears game. So I went online and I booked. Because I had to fly in. So then I had to hash it out with her. I'm like, do you want me to meet you or how are we going to do it? She goes, well, I can pick you up at the airport. So I went in to find a flight, and I had miles. So I found a fucking red eye Saturday. So here's how it was going to work. I had to work a double on Saturday. So I got out of work at 10:30, get on the plane at 11:45, get to Chicago at 6 a.m., see the game at 3, and then come home Monday morning.
Jesus Christ.
But I'm in. Fuck, dude, I'm in. That's literally, I still have the text. Seriously, I'm in. Dude, I'm in. So she said she could pick me up at the airport. And I said, all right. And I told her, I said, well, I'm going to get a hotel room if I'm staying overnight. And she's like, why? I said, well, because the game doesn't start until like 3:30 and I'm getting to town at 6 a.m. She goes, yeah, but we can go to breakfast or something, and then we can just tailgate. We'll go hang out at the stadium.
12-hour shift. No sleep, yeah.
Well, all of that matters. Okay, no sleep, 12 hours, all of that. And again, she's from fucking Wisconsin. That's the shit that they do, all right? She's like a little badass. Like, she's all tough, and she doesn't care about weather and shit. And that was see,
Care about weather.
she doesn't. She doesn't at all. But that's the thing. I'm a lady. Like, I mean, I do care about that shit. And here's the thing. I haven't even covered this, okay? So dude, I'm in. Seriously, I'm in. I've got to figure out hotels. I got to figure out all this bullshit. But there's another looming factor I haven't mentioned to all of you guys. She bought the tickets, and that's great. We're going to the game. Dudes, it was supposed to be -7 degrees at game time.
Jesus Christ.
With wind chill factors of -15. Like the real feel was like -21 or some bullshit like that. And I'm like, dude, that's fucking. And so that's why I had to keep at it. I'm like, are you sure that you want to do this? She's like, yeah, we'll go tailgate. It'll be awesome. I mean, she doesn't give a fuck. So she really meant that when she said, no, you don't have to get a hotel. We can just we'll go up to breakfast, and then we'll go hang out at the stadium. And I wrote her, I go, that's never happening. I'm not doing that. She said, what do you mean? I said, I have to have a hotel room. I said, because I'm not leaving till the next day. I go, what do you think we're going to do after the game? And she's like, well, we can hang out. And I'm like, hang out where? What, in an all-night bar? And then I'm going to go, are you going to drive to O'Hare and sit with me? I mean, seriously, if I'm doing this, I'm going to do it, and it's going to be amazing. But there has to be, I'm old. There has to be some sort of comfort level involved as well. I mean, I'll sit outside in the weather for the game, but to just be out in the elements the entire fucking time, I'm not some hobo who's just going to come in from the West Coast. But she meant it. She's like, we'll tailgate. Well, I'll bring a grill. It'll be fun. And I'm like, yeah, until I get cold. I'm cold. So I told her, look, I want to get a hotel. I'm getting a hotel room. And she's like, all right, well, where? I said, I'm going to find somewhere close to the stadium. So that way you can just drop me off. And she's like, well, why don't I just get a room too? I said, that makes sense. So I went online and I figured it out. I got a room at the Hilton. And I used my miles to find this red-eye flight. The Hilton's a half mile from Soldier Field. We can walk there, walk to the game. And so I'm the whole thing came together in 15 minutes. From dude, I'm in, seriously, I'm in, 15 minutes. All of a sudden, my weekend is booked. And the best Christmas gift I've ever received is fucking in the pipeline. I couldn't believe it. So I worked all day on Saturday. And I made sure she knew I was coming to town. I was flying American, because I don't know if you guys know, I'm an American level gold level flyer. So I was able to use some miles and call in some markers. I was getting to town at 6 a.m. I show up at the airport, and I go down to baggage, and she texted me that she was running late. I didn't care. I mean, I was half asleep anyway. And she walks in, Packer scarf on. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I go, it's different down here. I mean, because in Green Bay, everybody was really nice to me in my Bears jacket. I go, down here, we're going to wind up in a fucking rang-a-dang. And so we talked, and we split, went to the Hilton. And I called the Hilton, and I got an early check-in. And so we repaired to our quarters to get ready for battle. Because I hadn't slept, man. Like I said, I was just fucking gassed. So I'm in my room, and I have like 5. I brought like 10 shirts. I brought layers. I brought layers, folks, because I knew I was going to need fucking layers for this game. So I'm in the room. I'm in the room for like an hour, and then I won't lie, I was bored because I couldn't sleep because I was going to a fucking divisional championship game that afternoon. So I texted her. I'm like, hey, are you around or awake? She's like, yeah, I can't sleep. I'm like, neither can I. Let's go to the lobby or do something. So we just fucking, we went to the lobby and we talked football and hung out and just waited. We watched the other games, the early games. And we had to go to the stadium. We were going to walk. So I had to get dressed. I'm like, all right, look, I better get dressed. So she had bought a Packer jacket. She showed me the Packer jacket. I go, that's an awesome jacket. She's like, yeah, but I don't think I'm going to wear it. It's too big. I go, but by the time you put on all your layers, you'll fit in that fucking jacket. So I'm putting stuff on. Dude, I put on Spider-Man pants, and I put on Under Armour boxer briefs, so to seal the heat in. I put on an Under Armour XX top, and then I put on 3 T-shirts, and then my Bears jersey, and then 2 hoodies, and then my Bears hoodie over that. There's photos of me on Facebook, and I hate them because they make me look the way I used to look. I became Mike from June because I put on fucking 70 pounds of clothing, and I just look all fucking fat and wobbly. So then I go and I knock on her door, and she opens it up, and she looks, because all right, again, like I always tease her, she's 5'0", and she might weigh 98 pounds maybe. She looked like a middleweight when she opened the door. She got 3 scarves on. She got 2 Packer hats on. She got a fucking Packer jersey. And it looked like the two of us were going to a bar for those sumo wrestling contests where they have the giant fat suits on, because the two of us were just like these huge round shapes. We looked like Wayne Coyne from the fucking Flaming Lips in that ball when he runs out on the crowd. That's what we look like. So we wobble down to the lobby. We ask the guy where we're going, and he points us in the right direction. Well, I should tell you this too. When we checked in, she had her car, and we checked in, and the guy checking us in, he's like, because she had her Packer thing on, I had my Bears thing on, and the guy's like, oh, you guys are here for the game? We're like, yeah. And we start talking, and he's like, I got to root for those Packers. And I'm like, dude, why are you a dick? And he's, oh, I'm a Viking fan. I go, this is your fucking fault. If you can kick a goddamn field goal, we're not even here for this game. And Jill's just laughing. Ha, 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 jerk. And then we went in, and of course the desk clerk was a Packer fan. I'm like, why are you people here? Go move. So we go downstairs, make our way to the game. We walk outside, and dude, it felt like I got punched with an ice fist. I mean, it was just so goddamn cold. And my face immediately calloused. Like I had that red wind burn on my face. We're walking up Michigan Avenue. heading to the field, and there's other people walking too, and there's Packer fans and Bear fans. It was cool. It was kind of jovial. It's a little different than Green Bay, because in Green Bay we had to walk through a bunch of cow shit and horrible fields. But in America and Chicago, it's a city, so we actually got to walk through sidewalks and civilization. We get to the field, and I was taking pictures. I was putting stuff on Facebook, letting people know where I was, and we walk in to the stadium. Well, I should tell you this before we get into the stadium. I go, hey, I said I actually want to look around because there's a memorial around here for the military, and David Hernandez he's the model for the Marine. And she was like, what are you talking about? I go, the woman who was the sculptress who did the statue, she asked if she could use David's face for the Marine, and so he's the statue. So she goes, well, yeah, we have to see that. So I've never seen it. I've been to Soldier Field twice since it went up, and I've never been able to locate it. Well, as we come walking in from Michigan Avenue, I see it. It's like right there. So we walk over, and there's a bunch of people already taking photos by it. And I said, look, I have to get a regular picture and then pictures of us with it. And some guy goes, oh, do you want us to get a picture of you with the statue? And I go, dude, that's my friend. Like, literally, I don't even know this guy. He goes, what? I go, that's my friend, Dave. I go, and I tell the whole story, and then I pull up my phone and I find a picture of Dave, and I'm like, see? And they're like, oh my God. Like, so I'm showing everybody around the face of the Marine, and the Marine is there, and it says, I'm like, and I'm sure Jill is like, I'm cold. But actually, no, she thought it was a great story. And so she was really nice to everybody, and everybody was really nice to her. We were walking, I will say this, we're walking at one point, and I'm a Bear fan, and, I'm in my Bear clothes, and she's in her Packer clothes. And there's like a woman crossing guard type person or whatever. I don't know who she was. But they start waving us across, and we go to walk, and I let Jill go ahead of me. And as I'm walking, and so the crossing guard looks at us and goes, so it does work, huh? And we're like, yeah, it works. Because what are you going to say? No, listen, we got to have a talk. And we're just like, yep.
No, we're actually here on a bet.
Yeah, we hate each other. Here, you want to see her in Bear's clothes? I have 400 photos. So we just like, yes. And we walk across. We take pictures with the statue, and then we get in the stadium. And we locate the section, and we start walking down to the section, and walking, and walking, and walking. And we're approaching the field. Like, I don't even know where we're going. And we get down, and we find our seats. Dude, we are second row behind the Bears sideline. I mean, it's the greatest seats I've ever had for a sporting event. I mean, they're amazing. We're basically right on the field.
Wow.
And I just looked at her, and she looks at me. And the funny thing was, I guess she got the tickets online or whatever, and so we just kind of looked at each other like, this is amazing, right? Yeah, this is amazing, because neither of us knew what we were walking into. But I will tell you this: by the time I got to my seats, the game doesn't start for another hour. I'm already feeling it, like in my hands and in my arms, and in my feet. I did have to go buy boots. I will tell you that. Another thing in my whirlwind thing, I had to go buy waterproof, insulated boots, because I knew, because your feet are the worst in that cold weather. That's the thing. So I had to get them. So I'm wearing those, which is good. But then the rest of me's in all these layers, and she's in layers, and the wind, that's the thing in Chicago, the wind totally whips in off the lake at Soldier Field. And it's like 24 miles an hour. Dude, when it was so cold and freezing. So I'm putting stuff on Facebook, and I'm taking photos, and I'm filming stuff, and all of a sudden I notice, because I have gloves on. I have 2 pairs of gloves on, by the way, because I didn't have any insulated gloves, like with down. I'm wearing 2 essentially sets of gardening gloves that have Bears logos on them. And my hands are freezing in the gloves. Like, they're already, I can't move them. I'm having trouble. So then when I'm texting stuff and putting on Facebook, I'm like, my thumb won't move. I'm like, it's like, it felt like arthritis or something. I couldn't move my hands. So I made a film of us, of the seats where we were sitting. And then I'm like, hey, you want to go to the concourse and walk around just to try to get some blood moving or something, anything? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. Because she truly was fine. Like, she was cold, but also at the same time, she's just like, yeah, I do this all the time. And I'm just like, I'm a girl. So we walk up back to the concourse, and we're walking by, and and this this fucking made me laugh because, you know, people are looking at her and me because again I'm in Bears clothes, she's in Packer clothes, whatever. And there's this Chicago dude, like straight up Chicago, like fucking, you know, hey, what's those guys doing? Like that guy. And he's that got that brush cut and he's kind of fat and he's gray and he's just holding a beer and he doesn't have anything on his head, so it's bright red and steam's coming off of his scalp. And we go walking by and Jill's, I said to her, I go, do you want to be behind me so I can make a hole or do you want to be in front of me? She's like, well, I'll be in front of you because it wasn't that busy yet. So we're walking and the guy looks at us as we walk up and he goes, Jesus, that's the prettiest Packer fan I ever seen in my life. And Jill, like literally she's covered under like 8 layers of clothes and she kind of turns around and she looks at me and she's like, is he talking about me? And I go, yeah, he's talking about you. And she's like, oh, thanks. And we just keep walking as like 2 children dragging our toboggan up to the top of the fucking hill, looking for hot chocolate, looking for anything, get her a beer. And so we walked to the concourse and we went down to the field and the Bears came running out. I mean, it was just, we were right there where the Bears entered the tunnel and the game started and we were watching it and having fun and cheering. And that was the thing. It was just fun. It was, you know, I don't do that a lot where you just go out and have a good time anymore or do something because you're working, you're trying to stay afloat and doing all these things. But to just go and do this whirlwind thing where we just show up and have a great fucking time, it was really amazing. And so we get through the first half and I'm taking pictures and the Bears are, you know, the Bears score and then the Bears lead and I'm how do I put this? I'm loud. So I'm cheering, but I'm not just cheering like yay and boo, like I'm yelling, okay? And I actually I'm yelling and the people around me are kind of noticing it, but some of them are kind of like, whatever, this guy's yelling, but some of them are like into it and they're like high-fiving me and they want to be my friend, like that sort of thing. So our whole section starts to kind of become galvanized around me and us yelling and whenever anything good would happen for the Bears, I would just turn around and look at dudes and point at them and they would point at me and we just fucking high-five me. Like, God damn it, you're right. You're right. And there was one dude a section over and he was my go-to guy because he was living and dying with every play and with the Bears. And he was doing this thing where he would have a running analysis. I tell you what, if they did that sweep again, they got to go ahead and fill the gap. I mean, like he was just talking out loud to anybody because he loved football so much. And whenever anything good would happen in the Bears, like we would all high five and everybody would hug and do a thing. And I'd just stop and stare at him and wait for him to turn on and look at me. And then I would just point at him and go, where are you at? And he'd go, I'm right here. Where are you at? I'm right here. And I just fucking point at him. And I do random. All right. Again, it's stupid. I just like being stupid because I think it's funny. So the song "Separate Ways" by Journey for some reason starts playing and we're just sitting there. We're sitting down. I'm sitting next to Jill, and there's these 2 dudes in front of me, and like a kid who's just woefully underdressed. I mean, he's got like 1 coat on and 1 glove. I mean, he just looks terrible. He's freezing his ass off, and his dad keeps trying to talk to him. And the kid wants nothing. He's slumped in his chair so much that I keep kneeing him in the head because I'm standing up and yelling like a jackass. So "Separate Ways" starts playing, and it's got that keyboard intro, and I'm sitting there, and to nobody at all, I just go, I'm singing this. I hope you're ready for it.
What?
I just said it. I'm just like, I'm singing this song. I hope you're ready for it. And then and I don't think they believed me. Because there's that music intro, the down. I'm not kidding. I'm singing this song. I hope you're ready for it. And like nobody's paying attention to me. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm saying it into the ether. And then sure enough, the line comes and I just go, here we stand, worlds apart. And I sing it. And the best part of it is like, it's the music is playing and I say it twice. I'm going to sing this song. I hope you're ready for it. I'm not kidding. I'm going to sing this song. I hope you're ready for it. And then when it hits the I go, here we stand. The guy in front of me just goes, oh! He starts laughing because it's like he heard me and he was dreading it. He's like, no, please don't. But it didn't matter. And he starts cracking up and he grabs his son and he just looks at him like, this kid's an idiot. So I'm doing dumb shit like that, which is really funny to me to do. So I'm kind of I'm like the guy in our section a little bit, where everybody's kind of like, they look to me to be funny or to yell, and we're cheering because I'm just yelling shit. There's this safety for the Bears. All right, his name is Chris Conti. He is sucked all season. He is fucking terrible. He is so fucking bad. And you can check my Facebook posts from weeks past. I would always write, whenever the Bears, when something was happening, I would write, hey, Mex, how do you feel about Chris Conti? Because Mex is all about safety play. Mex, which sounds really sexual and weird, probably. Mex has a safe word. He has a safety word. And it's not Conti. It is absolutely not fucking Conti.
That would be the best ever.
His safety word for, Conti! His safety word for Conti is actually fuck! Because Conti's fucking awful. He's just he's the bad white safety who's always a step behind, and he's constantly making fucking mistakes, and you hate him. And you're like, why is he playing? Why is he fucking playing? The Bears have 2 white safeties. Drop those motherfuckers.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not kidding. They're terrible. Craig Stelz and Chris Conti. Awful.
We have to have 2 white safeties.
Exactly. Get them off the fucking team.
Pissed.
They're terrible.
Oh, Christ.
So in the first quarter, whenever anything happens at all, anything, the Bears get stuffed on 3rd and 1. I go, Conti, fuck! Conti's on defense. He had nothing to do with that play, but I don't care. I blame Conti. The Packers hit for like 17 yards on a slant to Jordy Nelson. Fucking Conti, what are you doing? Conti nowhere near the play. Well, it was not his responsibility, but who cares? Guy walking down the aisle drops his beer. Conti, god damn it! Everything was Conti's fault. And everybody in the section, too, they start doing it too. Conti, no matter what happened, we're blaming Conti for everything. So we're having fun, and Jill's having a great time, too. And she's not shy and retired, but she's also not a jerk. Like, she's having fun rooting for her team, and that's fun. But then when the Bears would do something, she would high-five me and look at me sad and stuff, because that's, and I did that in Lambeau, too. We did the same exact, that was the rule. The rule is if we're together and we're there doing that, it's like, because again, I'm not going to be a jerk anyway to her. She's a longtime listener and a good friend. But at the same time, it just, you can get caught up in silly things. And it's not, I don't care that much about football. You know what I mean? I'm there to have a good time and care about football, but I don't care that much about football. So we're having a good time. We're cheering, and she's cheering and having a good time whenever the Packers do anything good. And she'd turn around and she'd look at me, and I just high five her. Yes. And then like crazy shit starts to happen. Like the Bears are up 7-0 and it's awesome. And I'm texting, I'm putting stuff on Facebook and it's great. And I'm just like looking at her like, yeah, that's happening. And then the Packers kick a field goal. And then the Packers have like a weird fluky fumble play that they run in for a touchdown. And the fans, it's different at home. You can see what's going on. The fans, all they know is that a fucking guy got to come over and look at a replay. So you're freezing your fucking balls off as they go look at the replay. And we're like, what the fuck just happened? And then they call it a touchdown for the Packers. We're like, why? None of us know. And there were all these challenges in the freezing cold. And finally, I'm just yelling, no more challenges! It's fucking freezing! So we're yelling stuff and having fun. And by we, I mean me. Jill's not yelling. So we start. I'm anytime something good happens, I'm pointing at the guys. And then the Packers take the lead at the half. And it doesn't look good because the Bears are kind of stuck in neutral. So halftime comes, and I look at her and I go, do you want a beer or something? She's like, no. And I go, do you want to just go walk around so we don't die? And she's like, yeah, that's a good plan. Because she was freezing. As tough as she is, as badass as she is, as Wisconsin as she is, her perfect smile was chattering and wouldn't stop. So we split. Walk up to the concourse, and now I got to make a hole. I'm like, get behind me and just grab my jacket because it's millions of people smoking and every terrible thing in the world. So we're walking through and we're trying to figure out where we're going to go. I'm like, well, should we get something to eat? Should we get a hot dog or something? And she's like, well, I don't know. You hungry? I go, yeah, I am. I go, but I don't know if I can chew anything. I mean, I don't know if my face works anymore. And she's like, yeah, me either. I don't know. She goes, that doesn't sound good. I go, well, do you want a beef sandwich? You want a hot dog? She goes, I want whatever you want to get. I don't care. Like, she was just freezing. And so was I, and I'm like, and we're walking, and she says, "Do you want to go?" I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Do you want to leave?" She goes, "You're freezing." I said, "Well, everybody's freezing." I go, "You're freezing too." And she goes, "Yeah, but I just don't want you to be, cold. And it's just you shouldn't be really freezing. I mean, if you're in pain or whatever." I go, "Well, my hands." It's just she taught me something too. She's like, with those thin gloves, she goes, just pull your fingers out and ball your hands into fists. And it'll keep them warmer even under the gloves, even if they're not, that's the whole point. They're not spread out. Yeah. And it totally made sense and it worked. It was great. And I said, well, yeah. I said, I'm cold. I go, but you look more cold than me and you're you're tiny. It's like, you got to be freezing. She's like, I am really cold. I mean, it's miserable. Well, I took that to mean that she wants to leave. So I'm trying to be a nice guy. And I'm like, well, do you want to go? She goes, I just don't want you to be uncomfortable and which again, it's this.
It's like you and I going for food.
Basically, yeah. Because I just want her to say I want to leave. If she says I want to leave, we'll leave. I'm excited to be there, but I'm also miserable. I'm also freezing. I won't lie. I got bees in my hands, and I'm just like, well, this is fucking cold. But we're fucking there. Like, how do you pass that up? So we're still walking on the concourse, and the Jesse White tumblers are out freezing their balls off. Whoever the fuck is on the field, I can't tell. So we find the hot chocolate line because they had hot chocolate. Hot chocolate was $8. A shot of booze, it was $13.
Jesus Christ.
So we get in line for hot chocolate, and there's like 75 people in line for hot chocolate. I mean, it's like crazy. So she's next to me, and she's freezing, and I'm freezing. And she's like, "Are you sure you don't want to go?" I said, "We can go right now." I said, "We can walk out. We'll take a cab back to the hotel. We'll watch the rest of the game in the lobby." I go, "It's fine, and we can do that." She's like, "Well, I just don't want you to be all cold and miserable." And I go, "Well, that's kind of part of the deal. We're miserable. You're miserable. We're all miserable, but it's a game. It's fun."
We're all miserable.
That's why we're here. I said, but I go, she goes, "Well, yeah, but now everybody knows that we're here. Like you if you leave, it's going to be a thing." And I go, "We don't have to tell them we left." I go, "You and I can just leave and go warm up in the hotel and just pretend we're still at the fucking game. Because, I mean, we've got photos that proved we were at the game. Just we don't take any second half photos. That's fine." Because I'm trying to make her feel better about saying it's okay to leave. Because I don't want to. I mean, this is the greatest Christmas gift I've ever received besides Kiss Alive 2. And I didn't want to be the one to pull the plug on it because it was so great. But at the same time, I could see the merits of going and getting some hot chocolate and sitting in a hotel lobby and not dying. So, and also I don't want her to be in because again, it was a spur of the moment decision and kind of a whim. And now I figure that she's regretting it. So I said, "We can go." She goes, "Are you sure?" I said, yes, it's cold. That's fine. We can walk out right now. We can grab a cab and we can go back to the hotel. Watch the game in the lobby. Everything's fine. She's like, "Okay. Well, I just don't want you to be like all uncomfortable." I said, "No, I'm fine." Now, I've hung out with Jill enough to know a little bit about her. And, so I have an idea of kind of what buttons I can push on her a little bit. So, she's all tough and badass, but she's miserable and she wants to go because she's cold. And I said, "All right, we can go." So we start walking. And the concourse is thinning out because the teams are out and they're ready to start the second half. And we're walking down the concourse, and I look at her and I go, "But I don't want to hear another word about you and your badass, I don't give a fuck about the weather, Wisconsin nonsense."
Oh, Christ.
And she goes, "What?" I said, "You're too cold. You're miserable and you want to go, and that's fine. We'll go to the hotel lobby, but you don't ever again get to tell me that I'm cold or I'm this or I'm that, and that you're really tough because you live in Wisconsin, because obviously you want to go because you're freezing." And she goes, "Fuck you, we're staying." And I go, no, it's okay. Really, it's fine. We can just go. I'm just teasing you. We can go. And she goes, no, I'm staying. Are you kidding me? I'm never leaving now. I'm staying. We're fine. And this whole time we're walking back to our seats, and then they kick off for the second half as we see it happen. And I look at her and I go, "No, you don't have to do that. I wasn't saying it for that reason." But yes, I was. I was absolutely saying it for that reason. And she goes, "No." She goes, "Are you kidding me? We're watching the rest of this game. I'm fine. I'm in. We're good. Dude, seriously, I'm in." I said, "All right." I said, "I just want to make sure." And she goes, "Well, do you want to leave?" I go, "No, I don't want to leave. Of course I don't want to leave. Why would I want to leave? I was leaving because I thought you wanted to leave." She goes, "Well, I was only leaving because I thought you wanted to leave." I go, "Well, then fuck that. Be clear about what you want, because I want to stay and I don't want to go ever again. I want to be here forever and watch this fucking game." And she goes, "All right, well, let's go." So we hustle over to our seats, and there's a big line of people trying to show their tickets and get down. And we're like, fuck, because the game had already started. And the usher looks and he goes, hey, you two. And he waves at us. We walk in and he goes, I couldn't forget you two. Bears and Packers, go ahead. So he lets us go back down our seats and skip the line. So we walk down and we get into our seats. And then the section's like, oh, you're back, finally. So we get in and we're standing there. And we watch the second half of football unfold. And it turns out to be the greatest half of football, the greatest game. I mean, it is back and forth. The Bears are it is cold, it is freezing, but our faces hurt, but it doesn't fucking matter. And I'm trying to Facebook stuff and I'm trying to take photos. And I'm just, I'm yelling for no reason and having a good time. And fuck. On the sideline, as far as I'm concerned, this is the funniest thing I've ever said in my life. I'm setting that up way too much, but I don't fucking care. There's the Bears have a mascot. And he's dressed like a bear. He's in a bear's outfit. And he's walking around the sidelines and he has a fishing pole with mistletoe on it. And he keeps putting it in the stands over people and making them kiss. Because it's Christmas. So he's walking around the fucking sidelines, and he turns around, and on the back of his jersey, it has his name. His name is Staley. Because the Bears used to be the Decatur Staleys back when the NFL first started. So he's Staley the Bear. And he's walking around with his fishing pole. And he's there the entire first half. And there's a guy in the stands. Because Staley's walking around, sometimes he throws fun things into the stands, or he's got the fishing pole. He's trying to rev the crowd up. So as he's walking around, there's a guy in the stands who keeps going, Staley! Staley! He's yelling Staley. So that happens in the first half. And I don't say anything. So I come back for the second half. And it is just a knockdown, drag out. The Bears score, the Packers score. It is just cold, but we are revved up and we are standing up and we are cheering and we're having a good time. And then Staley the Bear makes his way back to our sideline. And he's walking around and he's with some cheerleader chicks and these young girls and stuff who are in yoga pants who have to be freezing their fucking whatever they have in there off. So Staley comes by and this guy starts, Staley! Staley! And I look back at the guys behind me. There's like 4 dudes who I've been high-fiving with and talking the entire time. I said, Jesus Christ. Sounds like a Down syndrome version of Streetcar Named Desire.
Oh my God!
And the guy looks at me and he's like, what? I said, this idiot with the Staley. It sounds like a Down syndrome version of Streetcar Named Desire. Staley! Staley! And it was like a time bomb of funny. Because the 4 dudes are like looking at me, like trying to make sense of it. And then the one guy he gets it right away and he just goes, ah, ah, and he starts laughing like in this weird, like high pitch, like, ah, like it was like he couldn't help himself. And 2 of his friends they start laughing too. And one guy hugs the other guy. Like it was like, oh my God. So because he's been yelling the whole game. And the 3 of them are laughing. The 4th guy doesn't even laugh. He's just holding his beer and he's like amazed with like a blank stare. And he just goes, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I was just like, you're goddamn right it is. Oh, dude. Fucking Staley. God damn it.
Oh, that's terrible.
So they call a timeout to go back under the hood for another fucking replay. And I'm like, no more replays. God damn it. No more challenges. And the dude who said it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard in his life just goes, yeah, listen to Staley. No more challenges. So he calls me Staley. So we start watching the game, and anytime something good happens, I turn and look at those dudes, and those dudes look at me and they go, fucking Staley! So they start calling me Staley, and now I'm yelling, and I'm like, come on, get up, fucking get up! And the worst part was, there were 2 sourpusses in our section. They were right next to me in seats 1 and 2. Jill and I had 3 and 4. 1 and 2, they're sitting down, which is fine. I don't give a fuck. It's cold, man. But they shit on the Bears every chance they could get, and they were Bear fans. Oh, geez, here comes this team again. They're going to lose. It was like the 2 old men from the fucking Muppets. And finally, I turned in and I go, hey, get up or shut up, goddammit. Fucking Bears. Like, I was like all into it. And everybody's like, yeah, yeah. And then I leaned over. I felt bad. And I was like, guys, you don't really have to get up or shut up. I'm just having fun. So then there's like a downtime again, and we're freezing our balls off, and the fucking trivia contest comes on. And they're like, which one of these Chicago Bears was a non-drafted free agent? A, Brandon Marshall. B, Matt Forte. C, Isaiah Fry. Or D, Blake Costanza. And I go, C. And they go, is it A, B, C, or D? C. A, B, C. And they go, the answer is D. And the guy who laughed when I sang the Journey song turns around and goes, you're wrong. You're wrong. Like mean, like mad. Like he bet on it. And the best part is he did it, and Jill saw it. Jill totally watched, and she looked at me, and she just started laughing like, oh my God. I go, that guy cared that I was wrong. That guy was invested in my trivia answer. Or he was just worried that I kept yelling C in his ear. So then the fucking Bears start driving, and they're on our side of the field, and we're watching, and then the Bears score. They score a touchdown, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, yeah. And we turn over, we're high-fiving and hugging, and I point at that one dude, and he goes, fucking Staley. He points at me. I go, you're goddamn right. Where are you at? He goes, I'm right here, baby. Goddamn it, Bears. And I look at Jill, and she's just like, she's making this face like, yeah, that's it. That was the face. You know what? That's a really good way to put it. Because I was trying to figure out what it was. Yeah, what is wrong with you? She knew I was having fun, and she was having a great time, but even she was like, you're yelling a lot. And I didn't want to be that guy. In my head, I'm just like, yes, but we're having fun, right? I'm fun. I mean, I'm not a jerk. I'm not yelling fuck or being an asshole, except when I yell fucking Conti, right? So she's just like, all right. And I think it was good for her anyway, because I think getting her rage up about how stupid I was being was keeping her warm. I think it was keeping her warm. Although I got to be honest, after I said that bullshit about her not being tough in Wisconsin, she could have like been like Firestarter or Dark Phoenix and just set the whole fucking stadium on fire. She was so pissed, so pissed. It's good to know I can still piss ladies off. All right, so good. So we sit there and it's just. Halftime, it was 13-7 Packers. And then the Bears march down and they score a fucking touchdown. So they're up 14-13. And like I said, it was a back and forth second half. So the Bears score, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck yeah, here we go. We're taking it over, 14-13. And then the Packers march down the field. And Aaron Rodgers, who I don't know if I've mentioned, had been injured for most of the season, throws a touchdown pass to Randall Cobb, who... I may have mentioned has been injured for most of the season. And so now the Packers lead 20-14. And there's just this weird feeling because the Bears defense is awful. I mean, it is awful. So the Bears offense is great. So every time the Bears would score, we'd just be like, please, one time, stop these motherfuckers. And then the Packers would march down the field and fucking score. And we were like, God damn it, Conti. The fuck? So the Bears defense is awful. So the Packers take the lead 20-14. And the Bears get the ball back. And Cutler, by the way, let's talk about Jay Cutler for just a second. Because Jay Cutler is young Elvis and he is the fucking greatest quarterback the Chicago Bears have ever had. He is fucking young Elvis. So the Bears get the ball. And there's this weird, like the fans love the Bears and they're cheering for the Bears. But it's just that thing where they can't stop the Packers. So we know we got to outscore them. So the Bears get the ball back. And fucking Cutler lofts a bomb to Alshon Jeffrey. He catches like this 60-yard pass, and we thought he scored, and then of course they got to review it. We're going to review it. Fuck you, no more reviews. We're freezing. They decided that he didn't score, and the Bears have to go, well, fuck, fine. So then Matt Forte runs in for a touchdown, so the fucking Bears take the lead, 21-20. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, dude. Third quarter ends, and they do this big announcement. They're like, the end of the third quarter, the Chicago Bears 21, the Green Bay Packers 20. And I'll say this, every time the Bears score, they play Bear Down Chicago Bears, this fucking song. So everybody has to sing it, and we're all singing the song. And every time it would be sung, I just look over at Jill, and she's just like, I don't. Because here's the thing: in Green Bay, they have their own Packer song, and I think it's just "Whoop da yay, hey there, we love cheese." I think that's what it is. I'm not sure, but it's like a polka or some bullshit. But then the Bear Down Chicago Bears song plays, and you realize it's just as stupid as the Packer song, but it doesn't matter because the fans are singing it, and Jill's just looking at me like I can't believe this fucking song, but it didn't matter. It was hysterical. So the fourth quarter starts. Bears are up 21-20. And the Bears were marching at the end of the third quarter. And they got to change the field to our side of the field. So, again, we're on the 10-yard line, second row. So now the Bears are on offense directly in front of us, and we're going crazy. Like our whole section is fucking pumped. We're fucking hugging. We're high fiving. We're waiting, and Cutler drops back to pass, and he throws a pass into the end zone for Brandon Marshall, who's a fucking amazing receiver, and he makes this incredible catch like over his shoulder, and and the place goes bananas, because now we're up 2 scores. We're up at least 2 scores, and I'd been taking photos and putting stuff on Facebook, but then I had stopped because my hands were frozen, but I had to at this point. So in the middle of the celebration, I got my phone out and I just took a picture of myself with the guys behind me just going crazy. And I just posted it to my Facebook page and I just wrote, well, motherfuckers. Because the Bears are up 28-20 and I'm like, this is it. We are going to win this fucking game. So the Bears kick off and the Packers proceed to just gash the fuck out of their defense and march the entire way down the fucking field. Like, it's not even, we didn't even get a chance to enjoy Marshall's touchdown, except for the well, motherfucker selfie I took. By the kickoff, the Packers just march and score immediately. They score on a touchdown run by their guy, Eddie Lacy, and it's like, and they cut it to 28-27. And that's the thing. All right, you can get a 2-point conversion in football, so you can get 8 points with a touchdown, but there's so much time left in the quarter, and the Packers know they can score whenever they want against the Bears defense. So they kick the extra point and they make it 28-27. So now all they need is a field goal to win. And I mean, it's this weird attitude where we're just like, dude, come on, offense. One time, just fucking get it done one time. So the Bears get the ball and they get some plays and they make some stuff happen. Then they got to kick the ball away, but then they stop the Packers. And it's just this war of attrition. So then the Bears get the ball back with like 5 minutes left. No, I apologize. I think like 7 minutes left. They start to run some time off the clock and they get to midfield. And, it was like 3rd and 3, I think, and all they need is they just need 3 yards. And bullshit, it was like 3rd and 15. That's a lot more than 3. And Cutler drops back to throw, and he throws it down the sideline. And Alshon Jeffrey, who all year has made amazing catches, he's been fantastic. It was his breakout year. He's in front of us in one-on-one coverage with a cornerback. And Cutler lobs it up, and Jeffrey goes up directly in front of us, right at the 15-yard line, directly in front of us. And he goes up, and we're just screaming, and the ball hits him in the hands, his frozen hands, and falls out and hits the ground. Oof. And that's exactly the noise the whole crowd made. Oh, oof. Because it means the Bears have to punt. And if the Bears have to punt, that means Aaron Rodgers gets the ball back. So when the ball hits his hands and hit the ground, it's just everybody's just like, oh, except for one, yay! Out of this frozen block of ice, this 5-foot block of ice is right next to me. And I look at her and she just kind of smiles and I'm like, yeah, all right, well, hold on, wait, it's not over yet. So the Packers get the ball. The Bears have to punt after Jeffrey drops the pass. And the Packers have the ball like at their, I think they're at their 7. I mean, it's like we pin them back deep. So we are just making fucking noise. And the guy leans forward. He goes, come on, Staley. We got to get this done. So I'm up and I'm like, come on, get up, God damn it. And people are standing up and we're cheering and going crazy. And then the Packers start to march. And they're just eating up yardage. And then it comes to 4th down. And it's 4th and 1. And it's like, and we're all up and we're just like, one time, one stop, one time. Come on, baby. And we're yelling, and I look at that dude, and he looks at me, and I point at him, and he goes, I'm right here. I go, you're right here. One time. And then the Packers get the first down. They run, and they get like 1.5 yards instead of just 1. And time is ticking off the clock, and all they need is a field goal, and we just need one stop. All we need is one stop. And I'm stomping my feet, and we're clapping, and we're yelling, and we're trying to stay warm. And Jill is standing up. We're all standing up, and she's got her hands like clasped under her chin. And I don't know if it's because they froze to her face. I couldn't figure it out. But I'm watching the game. She's watching the game. Everybody's watching the game. And the Packers are marching, and on a first down play, the Bears stop, and then second down, third down. They're at midfield. Third down, they throw a pass over the middle for their guy, Jordy Nelson, number 87, who's a great receiver, and it gets broken up by the Bears. No flags. 4th and 8. Which means there's one play for the season. One play. If the Bears stop them here, the Bears win the division. So I start looking around, and the dude in front of me is like, he's yelling, but his kid is still sitting down, and I've been kneeing him in his head the whole game, and I lean forward and I grab him by the shoulder and I go, if you're going to get up at all, you need to get up for this play. He chooses not to get up, which I don't blame him. Again, he's probably frozen to the seat at this point. But I turn around and I'm literally like hitting the dudes behind me in the chest and they're hitting me in the shoulders. And we're like, one time, baby, one stop, 4th and 8, one stop. And Jill is not saying anything. She's just watching the field. And I'm looking at the dudes and I look at the other dude over there and he looks at me and I go, where are you at? And he goes, God damn it, I'm right here. And I look up at the dudes and I'm like, one stop, one time. They go, one stop, Staley, one stop, Staley. We're fucking cheering and we're yelling and we're screaming and we're up on our feet. And the Packers come up and they go to fucking snap the ball and the Bears throw an all out blitz. They throw fucking everybody. And I actually yell, got him! Like, cause I saw Julius Peppers come unblocked. And all he's got to do is get his hands on Rodgers. But then their fullback, John Kuhn, chips Peppers and knocks him off. And then, because the Bears have a problem on defense, Aaron Rodgers breaks contain. So we're watching from behind. So I can see the play. I see Peppers coming, and I think he's got a clear beat at Rodgers, and I go, got him! Well, Kuhn picks off Peppers, and Rodgers flushes out to break contain. And he's got wide open field. So if he wants to run for it on 4th and 8, he can probably make it. But then he takes a couple of steps, and he leans, and he throws kind of across his body, and he lets the ball go. And from where I'm at, I'm behind him, like behind him to his right. And I see through the fucking players, the fucking sideline, through all the guys on the field, all I see is one white jersey near the Bears end zone with the ball in the air. And there is not a blue jersey around him. And I just went, no! Because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So now I have to hope that his hands are as frozen as Alshon Jeffrey's hands. And the ball hits him and falls harmlessly to the turf. And the ball's in the air. And I just see his number flashing in my face. 18. Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb's standing there. Ball on its way. And literally, he's standing there. Make no mistake. He's not running anymore. He's just waiting for the ball to land so he can walk into the end zone. Because there is not a blue jersey around. And the ball starts to descend, and you hear the stadium just like this collective, what? And the ball lands in his arms, and he turns to head for the end zone, and all you see is a blue and orange jersey with number 47 on it. And the name Conti on the back, arriving just in time to watch him score the go-ahead touchdown. And I've been in deflated sports stadiums before. I was at a Blackhawks Red Wings playoff game once that went into double overtime. And I've told this story before, I think, on here. Near the end of the second overtime, we were like, all right, we're going to triple overtime. It's an epic battle. And a Red Wing player flipped the puck into the Blackhawks zone just on a line change, and it hit the Blackhawks goalie in the chest, and it rolled up his chest over his shoulder and landed in the net, ending the game. And the Red Wings were up 2-0. So by winning that game, they went up 3-0 in a playoff series and effectively ended the Blackhawks season. But when it landed in the goal, I still swear that you could hear the light for the goal switch get flipped and hear the red light spinning. That's how quiet it was in Chicago Stadium. But I've never been in a gut punch sports situation like this where, because add the element of the weather too. I mean, everyone is frozen and they don't know what to do, and they're bearing the elements. And we were one play, 4th and fucking 8. It's not like, I mean, it wasn't on 4th and 8. They hit like a 50-yard bomb to take the lead and win the game in the last seconds of a divisional championship game. I mean, just a crushing blow, a crushing fucking blow. And there's not one sound. I mean, like, nobody's making any sounds at all. And silently, Jill is just jumping up and down. She's not cheering and yelling. She's not rubbing anything in. She yelled out, yes, when they scored. But then she was just happy and jumping and happy and jumping. And she turned around and she looked at me with like a sheepish face, like she shouldn't be happy. But then she smiled because she knew that she should be happy. And I said, hold on a second. I said, just make that face. I need a picture. And she didn't say anything, and she just smiled, like this face, like she was so happy. I mean, she was just, it was almost angelic, the look on her face after suffering through the elements and then seeing that happen. And so I took the picture, and my hands were fucking dead frozen, but I didn't care. And I went right to Facebook, and I just put it up on my page, and I just wrote, well, motherfuckers. Because she deserved it. And I looked at her, and she was so happy, and she just kind of, so I hugged her, and I just picked her up, and I was like, congratulations. And then I put her down, and I go, but it isn't over yet, because there was still 30 seconds left. And then the Bears got a decent kick return, and then it was over. I mean, I can't even prolong it. You know what happened. It was over. Bears lost. And so we're sitting there, and it is just pin drop quiet as people leave the fucking field. The Bears are walking out. And again, I'm by the Bears tunnel. So when the Bears were leaving earlier, everybody's like, yeah, Bears, woo. And now the Bears are leaving the field. And I mean, dude, fans are awful. I mean, sports fans are just terrible. So they're just sitting there, and they're yelling, fuck you, you suck, you fucking suck. I'm like, dudes, you just saw the best game of the year, clearly. Back and forth, up and down, and yeah, we didn't fucking win, and it's a drag. And this is what I mean when I say I'm not a fan. Like, I love football, and I love the Bears, and I hope they win, but if they don't, I go, oh, well, guess what? Blackhawks. I mean, it's like there's nothing you can do. It doesn't affect my life at all. But this was a pretty crushing defeat. I mean, this was pretty crushing. And people are standing there, and they're yelling at Cutler, you pussy. They fucking hate Cutler, and I don't get why. So they're all yelling at the tunnel, and they're screaming, and we're waiting, and I look at Jill, and I'm like, all right, let's just get out of here. Because we're freezing, and we just want to get back to the hotel and thaw out. So I look at the guys behind me, and I fucking shake hands with them, and I hug them, and we go to split, and we go to walk. And the guy who was a section over, who was talking football strategy, and he was the other super fan guy, basically. And he's just leaning on the banister with his chin in his hands and just staring at the field. And I realized, you know what, this guy, he's probably a season ticket holder for years, and he lives and dies with this team. And he's not yelling abuse, he's not being mean, but you can see his heart has been ripped out, and he is so despondent, and he doesn't know what to do. Because there is that feeling too, when the season ends and you're not going anywhere, you don't know what to do. Because if the Bears win, there's a game in Chicago the next week, and he's probably there. But now he's got to go salt his driveway for the next 4 months and watch hockey in his warm house, and then hope that baseball comes along and waiting for. I mean, it's just literally, you mark time. When you're a fan like that, you mark time by seasons, and now it's over. This season is over, and over in the worst possible way. Probably worse than like losing all 16 games. To be 4th and 8 away from clinching the division against the hated rival, and going to the playoffs, you lose on that play. Oh my God, on that play. 4th and 8. 4th and fucking 8. So we go to walk out, and he's leaning, looking at the field. And I said, Jill, give me a second. So I walk up behind him, and I put my arm around his neck, like from the back. And I leaned forward, and I said, hey, if you would have told me in the beginning of the season that this team with a new head coach and their defensive leader retiring and a brand new offense and a brand new offensive line and 12 injuries on defense would be playing for the division title on the final day of the year in Chicago against the Packers, I would have taken it, because I didn't think this team was going to finish better than 6-10. I thought it was a transition season, but this team, they brought everything they had. They got beat by injuries. They got beat by a lot of different things, but they brought everything they had, and next year's going to be even better. And he didn't even look at me. He just kept looking at the field, and his head in his hands, freezing. And he just goes, "You're right, Staley." You guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. You can be our David Hernandez, who does all the artwork and the music. You can be his friend at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. And if you'd like to hire him to do some artwork for you, as some people who listen to the show already have done, you can go to artbydmh.com and you will find David there, ready to fill your order and do amazing work. Artbydmh.com, ARTBYDMH.com. You can follow our friend Lily Von Stupp on several different Twitter accounts, twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, twitter.com/Monday Night Teas, and twitter.com/ no, is it MNTs or Monday Night Teas? Twitter.com/MNTs, and twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest. If you'd like to be her friend on Facebook, go to facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. But if you'd like to write her a personal note and find out if being her friend on Facebook qualifies you to be one of the friends that she's eventually going to sleep with, you can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Joe Business. Joe, oh, you're dirt. Joe Business. Joe, oh, you're dirt. Joe Business. Joe, oh, you're dirt. Don't tell me that you haven't bought the big angry. Not yet. Buy it at Joe Business. Look at that kick-ass art for sale. Tweaked audio just cannot fail. Buy it at Joe Business. Hey, the Schminnick comes alive. He'll like rap or buy you one through five. Joe, oh, you're dirt. Buy it at Joe Business.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 Clubs on Santa Monica. And what are you laughing at?
I want to remind you.
Well, I do. I want to bring some personality
No,
here.
I just want to.
It's about time I showed a little personality on this show. So I
I
want to.
think you showed personality.
You think so? I don't know. So again, I want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 Clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. I happen to know the producer of that show. She's a good friend of mine. Unfortunately, I am not as good a friend as her other friends who apparently have been involved in sort of Congress with her, but
Congress? Yes, we were voting.
we're certainly holding out hope.
Land rights. Land rights. Landing strip rights.
What was the final score? 54-11 on that vote?
Ah, no.
Hmm.
And that would be really big for some kind of local panel, wouldn't it? 54-11?
Listen, I don't know how these local governments run their
You have
business.
to have 65 people on a local panel.
In
That
the
just
moment,
seems ridiculous.
in the moment, that was great. I don't care what you say.
No, it's
I
funny.
love this. It was funny, but it's wrong. It's so
It was
wrong,
funny,
factually.
And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, you would have to have 65 people on that local panel.
Yeah, you would.
That would be like everybody in the town.
Well, what are you against everybody in the town having a vote? Let's get to that now. I don't understand that.
For a panel, yes.
Oh, disappointing. It's a zoning issue. Everybody's involved. Someday you'll want to park there and you'll be like, why is this car here? Guess why? You weren't there to vote on the zoning issue. And it passed 54-11.
God, and then there was no parking on the dance floor.
No. But if that happens, I can tell you this, moving violations are easy to fix. You can just tell the DJ to fix it in the mix.
Thank you.
So that's my good friend and producer of the show at the 3 Clubs. Her name is Lily Von Stupp. Hi, Lily. How are you?
Hi, I'm great, Michael. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. The 3 Clubs was the scene this week of an amazing show.
It was?
Yes. I thought it was, at least. Yeah. And we need to throw a little color in it. We need to talk about it. See, that's why I get to show personality, because the show ended on such a down fucking note. We've got to go ahead and have people involved and listening. So we'll talk about the 3 Clubs and your quinceañera, which was on Monday night. Yes. And our Lily has just turned 15, which is nice. And turned 15 in an amazing dress.
Is that not just ridiculous?
And then had a clown piñata that was filled with, I will let you say what it was filled with, Lily.
Candy,
Yes?
Monday night tea shot glasses,
Yes?
condoms, pregnancy tests, and liquor.
And liquor. And then Lily was going to break the piñata at the end of the show, and she smacked it with like a cane or whatever the fuck she had, like a crowbar, and
It was a
she...
broomstick, which for anyone who's Mexican and grew up Mexican, apparently that they understand.
Okay, well,
I was like, what are Mexican I should add to the show. And somebody goes, break the piñata with a broomstick because the drunk uncle always forgets to buy the something
The
stick.
mallet. Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Well, I love the fact that you wanted it as authentic Mexican as possible, and you filled the piñata with condoms and booze. Good for you, racist.
Oh, that was for me.
Well, good. Well, it was amazing, and then you smashed that thing and it wouldn't break. It wouldn't like she's hitting this clown piñata and it wouldn't break. She can't, and she's hitting it hard. I mean, you were blasting it. It was making that loud, sickening thud noise, like whack, whack. Like you're hitting a fucking snare drum, and so that's not a thud noise at all. That's more of a snap noise. But that's what you're doing.
It was a deep thud.
And you're hitting it, and then finally, after I think 6 whacks of it, she just fucking tackled the thing and tore it apart.
Well, I knocked it off the thing that we had hanging for it.
Yes.
And it fell to the ground, and so I just picked it up and raped it from behind and
Yep.
tore it apart.
She like literally punched her hand through its ass and then tore it apart from between the legs, and then just shook everything out and just and fucking condoms and everything flew everywhere. I'm like, there's glass in there. I don't care. Rip, smash,
It was awesome.
rip, plunge.
And all the girls lunged and just started throwing
Yep.
it all out into the audience.
Yeah, so the audience, everybody got pregnancy tests and condoms and whoopee. And then there was supposed to be a second piñata, if I remember correctly, because there was the clown piñata and there was supposed to be, what other piñata was there?
They guaranteed me they would have it by Saturday at the latest and never got it for me. Because the joke was, I originally wanted a stripper piñata. And then I would smack it open and nothing would fall out because we all know strippers are empty inside.
Perfect.
Very funny joke.
Yes.
Even Monday morning I'm calling and I'm like, is my stripper piñata in? I'm paying you like 10 times what a piñata costs. And they're like, nope.
Nope. Must take siesta, pulled their sombreros down over their eyes.
This is what he said to me. The guy that comes around with them didn't come by this week.
Oh,
and I'm
my
like,
God.
wait a minute. Your wholesaler is a guy that's got paper mache strippers in his trunk?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
And didn't bring one this week.
Yeah. So the backup was the beautiful clown piñata that was like $10 downtown.
Oh, my God.
It's ridiculous. You can get a piñata for $10 on 8th and Olympic.
Okay. Why? Who cares? The thing that makes me laugh.
Piñata capital of the world.
Yes.
And it was insane.
But I love the fact that you're like, you can get this right. You're so happy about it. Like, oh my God.
I was going to pay literally 10 times that to
Yeah.
get a naked stripper piñata.
Yeah.
And I was willing to pay it. That's
Yeah.
the retarded.
I love people who don't want your money. They're great.
I don't get it.
Me
Yeah.
neither. But the show was fantastic. So not only that was there, and then you had a Cholo magician there, and you had and girls doing like a Mexican hat dance, and you were very traditional.
Quinn on the accordion.
Quinn played Lady of Spain, which was great. And then there was cake. There was, I mean, it was really fun. It was a great time, and I loved it. I had a good time. I was unfortunately I was a little late because I was working, but I was able to come in, and the place was fucking packed. Like I tried to go hide in the sound booth. There was already 10 people up there, and Bella Luna frowned at me, like, please don't come up here. And I'm like, I'll just give you a hug and leave. But it was great. It was a fun show, fantastic. Your dress looked amazing, and then you wore it the next night. I understand at the Magic
I wore it
Castle.
to the Magic Castle. People were like, "You're a princess, aren't you?"
Did you wear the tiara too?
No, I didn't get that.
Oh,
crazy.
why not? You should have. It looked great.
No, I wore my hair like up and back with big flowers in it, and that fucking ridiculous dress.
It was great. You wore it well.
Descending the stairs at the castle was just like, honestly, I was like, I feel like a princess. So retarded.
That was great. I loved it. I mean, yeah, I wish I could have seen that last night. But yeah, the dress was amazing. You wore it well. It was good. And you still own it, right? You can wear that anytime you want.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah, no, you're wrong. It looked good. I'm telling you. You're being silly. So that was last week's show. This week's show is going to be...
Oh, I'm excited. We got a whole troupe in from Tucson called Don't Blink Burlesque.
They have burlesque in Tucson, Arizona?
They do. Our most comedic winner at the Hollywood Burlesque Festival, Matt Finish.
It is Matt Finish.
Is his troupe. I met all of them in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Burlesque Festival, and I was like, who are you people? And I like searched them out and finally cornered them and was talking to them, and I'm like, what are you? They're all like dancers.
Nice.
I mean, dancers.
Right,
who
right.
Decided to put a troupe together that's a burlesque troupe. So they come to burlesque with a lot of group numbers and just they were fabulous. I'm so excited to have them here.
Cool. So they're doing the whole show.
Yep.
All right, so out of town burlesque coming to the Monday Night Teas here in Los Angeles. Tucson, Arizona comes to Los Angeles. The desert comes to the other desert. Here to do a show at the 3 clubs. It is the Don't Blink Burlesque, led by the Mr. Hollywood Burlesque, the most comedic winner, Matt Finish, who I was backstage with actually, and
very funny.
He's got a presence about him.
He does.
Actually, yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
So Matt Finish will be there with the Don't Blink Burlesque. Yes, he was very that. He was very, very snapping, and he was that guy. But he was awesome, nice guy, real cool to me. So that was good. You can always tell, like, as I was back at the burlesque. Well, there's nothing really to talk about the burlesque festival. I mean, it was fantastic and stuff. But I was going to do a show on it, and then I wound up. I can talk about it, I guess, another time. But I was backstage with a lot of naked girls and Matt Finish, and you can always tell, well, how people are by the way they treat you, because I'm, I don't know, they don't know who I am. I'm holding a fucking clipboard, but he was super cool. He was real nice. So that'll be great. So exciting show, and I hope that'll be fun for you to be there. I cannot be there this week. I will tell you that, unfortunately. I am
lost.
presently occupied. Absolutely, I'm disappointed. I always like seeing the out of town acts because it's always cool. Be my friend at facebook.com/the40year-old boy. And also join the Westside 86 Jokers fan club while you're there. Other people are doing so, and we appreciate that very much. There's cool people joining, and if you go there, there's a link to the Wheel of Fortune show on that page, and all sorts of neat stuff. So join the Westside 86 Jokers page. I would appreciate it very much to have you in the Legion. I think we're almost at 800 members now, which is good. So while you're, and that's if you use Facebook. And also remember, if you do use Facebook, and even if you don't, if you choose to go search this out, episode 36 Year 6 is a page on Facebook. You can actually go watch all the videos individually. Our good friend Gio, who did all of the work last week, or 2 weeks ago, when he put together the audio for me, and he's put together the videos. And I think I mentioned last week our friend Liam Gladdy. Did I mention Liam? Liam Gladdy lives in Europe, and he's a good guy, and he put together the videos while they were being done. Like, he kept kind of harvesting and then putting them in. And then I wrote him because, if you remember, Lily was going to murder me for putting her house online. And Liam's like, hey, I want to put this video up. And I wrote him, I go, dude, don't, please, don't. And he's like, down, no problem. And then people wrote him saying, hey, can you put that back up? And he's like, nope, Mike asked me not to. So thank you, Liam. I appreciate that. Please destroy all copies.
Isn't he going to just edit that chunk out?
Well, he can if he wants to.
Yeah.
But Gio has already done it as well.
With the video?
Yes, and he sent me the video via Dropbox. But I got to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to do anything with the video. I mean, I was going to.
You should put it up.
I guess so. I don't know.
Not everybody's on Facebook.
All right, I will. I'll put it on YouTube tonight. I'll go ahead and post it.
Put a link out in the thing.
Well, also because there's a 40-year-old boy channel, and it's got all our old. You want to laugh? Go look at those, and go look at my fat head as I talk in Lily's old house. And that's when we had the earthquake. We had an earthquake, and we filmed it. Well, and then we were on the roof too, and we found that guy doing yoga. Oh, good. Look at the fun we've had, folks, over 6 years. So those clips are available online, and now I will put up the clips from 36VIN, Year 6. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com for all of your Mike Schmidt needs. Go to the Joe Business page, and I should tell you, we'll have a new page up on the site in a couple of weeks, soon. Stay tuned. But you can go there now and go to the Joe Business page and go ahead and grab all of the Mike Schmidt stuff. We've got the Big Angry CD, which I will sign personally for you. I don't know. I guess I couldn't do it any other way but personally, really. I will sign automatically. You know what? I'm going to sign it very impersonally. That's how I'm going to do it. But the Big Angry CD is available there on MikeSchmidtComedy.com at the Joe Business page. Schmitty Comes Alive, the download for the life of Schmitty. Download year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Those downloads are available individually or as part of the UN of Evil box set. You can grab all that together. The Yurt Dirt Dirt shirt is available as well. And also artwork, signed autographed artwork, autographed by David Hernandez, the artist, Lily Von Strupp, who does all the work, and the guy who talks. That's me, and we will sign all of those things for you if you buy any artwork. And plenty of people have bought it and really loved it. So I don't know if that's a ringing endorsement, but it should be. And I think that's all the stuff there on Joe Business, right? Oh, and also there's our Amazon store. If you want to click through the Amazon store and go do some shopping at Amazon, I will get credit for that, and that will be good, and it will keep me on the air, and I would appreciate that very much. Thank you so much. I want to talk about something here really fast. The comedy film nerds, friends of this show, Chris Mancini and Graham Elwood, I've done their show many times, and they have never been on this show. Seems like an imbalance. Seems like I should have them on, but, well, there's a reason I don't. But Chris Mancini and Graham Elwood are doing a Kickstarter campaign to try to fund a film about podcasting. I think it's called Earbuds. If you go to Kickstarter.com, I don't have the actual address, but if you go to Kickstarter.com and you search Earbuds, 2 different words, 2 separate words, or search Graham Elwood or Earbuds or Chris Mancini, it will come up. And they are raising this money to go ahead and make a podcasting documentary. Now, they have a film. There's like a 4-minute teaser trailer that they've put together to try to get you to do so. They talk in the beginning and try to trick you into giving them their money. And then later on, there's clips from the actual Podfest. And I I'm in the trailer. I'm actually the first guy in the trailer. And I talked about this interview that I gave right after the Podfest when they talked to me, and I was able to kind of speak from the heart a little bit about podcasting. Well, I captured some of that in the trailer itself. So go watch the trailer, and if you decide to back the program or back the film that they're going to make, that would be fantastic. I would appreciate it very much. And I'll tell you what, if you do that, they have a comment section there at Kickstarter. Go ahead and write that the 40-year-old boy sent you over there, because that lets them know that people who listen to me listen to them and are willing to support things. So that would be kind of cool. Or you can write them personally, or you can just tell me to fuck off. I mean, do whatever you want to do. That's fine. I'm not ordering you to do anything. Whatever you choose to do is fine. But if I was you, I would go ahead and watch the trailer because I like what I said on it, and I'm glad that they were able to feature it because I meant what I said. And I will also tell you this too: if you want to sell anything, apparently, put me in your trailer. Because the Wheel of Fortune, I was in the trailer the entire time. And in this film, I am the first person that you see in the trailer. So please, by all means, go ahead and think about giving to their Kickstarter, visit the page, watch the trailer, and decide for yourselves. But if you do choose in the affirmative, let them know it was us who let you know to do that. That would be great. And, oh, you know what? I think I forgot to say this. You go to facebook.com/Monday Night Teas and become a person who's on their page and getting all the information about the upcoming shows. And tickets are always available at brownpapertickets.com for that, as a matter of fact. And also, there's other burlesque stuff I forgot to mention. Jesus. Our good friend Lily Von Stupp is going to be in the Vermont Burlesque Festival next week. I will talk a little more in detail about it next week when we do the show. But I just want to get you know, if you're in town, if you're in Vermont, and you want to grab tickets, go to vermontburlesquefestival.com and get a look at all the acts and all the people that are going to be there. Lily's involved in a couple of shows, but we'll talk more about it next week, like I said. But tickets are available now if you want to go ahead and pick something up and secure that you'll be able to see our friend Lily, our gorgeous Lily, at the Vermont Burlesque Festival as she freezes and tries not to burst through her pasties with her incredibly hard nipples. And also, let's talk about this because I'm involved as well. I think I mentioned last week we are doing the Quentin Tarantino Burlesque tribute again, as I go Chris Jericho on you with the again. September is a month of the year that Lily was born in, but it's nothing that I should be concerned with now. Stuptember is when you're on the calendars all the time. You're born in January. But I'm the bees, folks. I'm trying to leash them, harness them. I blame the bees. I had a September bee get loose.
The September bees.
Oh. Let's think of them wistfully. March 22nd, folks. March 22nd is a Saturday night. At the Yost Theater in Santa Ana, California, we'll be doing the Tarantino Burlesque Festival and all sorts of amazing acts and a gigantic stage with like a giant sign and LED stuff and props. I mean, it's going to be, if you saw it at the Tees and you saw it, basically you were sitting on everybody's shoulders because everybody was packed in like sardines. Well, this is a 500-seat theater. It is huge, and the stage is huge. Come watch me get swallowed up by the giant space, and come watch the girls save me by being amazing as I bring them up. Tickets are on sale now at yosttheater.com, Y-O-S-T, theater.com. Is it theater R-E or theater E-R? I never know, because I've actually worked in different places in different cities. Cool. So it's Yost Theater, and that's E-R. Yosttheater.com. Tickets are on sale now for March 22nd, Saturday night, the Quentin Tarantino Burlesque Tribute. I will be hosting. Lily will be dancing, and all of the other girls that you've seen in the past are dancing. And there may be some new acts and things like that. Yeah, we're still figuring it out.
Reservoir Burlesque this year.
Reservoir Burlesque. So go ahead and check that out, because there's always been a different theme. It was Burlesque Unchained. It's been all sorts of different names. We were going to go with Kill Lil E this year, but we decided not to.
Yeah,
and by we, I mean Lily.
No, I thought Kill Lil would be funny.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't want to make it all about me.
Yeah, that was nice of you, but you should have done that because it's awesome. And also, you don't have the Game of Death tracksuit, so you wouldn't be able to pose for the. Well, I guess I could Photoshop it. I suppose. I don't know.
I just go buy one.
Why? You know where? 8th and Olympic.
I'm saying, why don't I?
You should.
I'm
all right,
in.
done. So, dude, seriously, I'm in. So tickets are available at yosttheater.com for that show, the Tarantino show. I will be hosting. Come on down, and maybe we go out afterwards. Maybe we have some Orange County fun. Maybe we close that town down, which will not be difficult with Santa Ana.
Are you done plugging shit yet?
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
so. That's pretty much everything, I think.
Well,
Well, wait, is that everything? I think that's everything.
I think so.
That's all your
Maybe
burlesque
there's a
stuff.
bucket. Well, here's the
Okay.
thing. I'm sorry, but I sat through all the football stuff, talking about the football, not giving a shit about the football.
You did sit through it.
I
I'm glad you did.
because
Thank
I'm
you.
not a fan of football.
Thank
I'm
you
a
for
fan of
sitting
hockey.
through
We
it.
Talk about football, but I'm not a fan of football. But you didn't talk about the one thing I wanted to see and hear about, and that is your torment or Jill's torment of you when you lost. There are pictures of you. Why are you not talking about that part of the story?
I didn't think.
You made her take pictures all over town. You made her, like, you know, be humble and sad. I want to hear where every place she made you. And does she have 400 photos of you in sadness and despair and loss?
Well, I didn't think it was particularly relevant because, you know, she's not a poor winner. She was happy to win and just shake hands, and we were just going to go our separate ways, and that was fine. We had to walk back to the hotel from the stadium after I told that guy what was up, and he's like, "You're right, Staley." So we walked up and we walked outside, and we're just sniffling, trying to, you know, our faces are freezing. And we kept dreaming. I will tell you this: we the two of us kept dreaming of the cab. We were like, because we're only a half mile away from the hotel, and we walked from the hotel to the stadium. Well, we kept telling each other, "I can't wait to get in that cab when we leave here. That luxurious cab. It's gonna be so warm. We're gonna. Oh my God, it's gonna be great." We walk outside. There's not a fucking cab anywhere near the stadium. It's just this mass of sadness heading toward the exits. We're walking out, and luckily there wasn't a lot of. There was some shit going on. Like, there was a Bear fan who just ran up and just pushed a Packer fan down, you know what I mean, for no reason. And just ran around like an asshole, you know, just being a dick and yelling "fuck you" in Packer fans' faces. It's like, what is wrong with you? So we were walking, and you know, it was good to just keep walking so we didn't die. And we shot up Michigan Avenue, and we had to get to the Hilton. And I will say this, too. This is kind of funny. When we checked in, when I checked in the morning, they had a huge Christmas tree. And she's like, "I love that Christmas tree. I got to get a picture of that." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then the next day when I went to meet her down in the lobby to leave, this Christmas tree was gone. Like, she didn't get a picture of it. She was so bummed. She's like, "How did they take that down in one night?" I said, "I have no idea." So we walked back to the hotel at the Hilton, and we walked inside, and we're just, you know, thawing out in the lobby. And I was like, "Well, do you want to eat something? Do you want to hang out?" And she's like, "I don't know. I feel like I'm underwater." Because we did. You're just that slow, frozen. And I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, I'm probably going to take a hot shower, and if you want to do something, give me a shout or whatever, and we'll figure it out." And I said, "But I have to be at the airport tomorrow morning. We'll figure that out later." And she just goes, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Well, I mean, you know, obviously it's 8 o'clock. We're both frozen. So, I mean, I'll talk to you tomorrow, unless you wanted to get something to eat, but I don't think you do." And she goes, "You think you're leaving?" I said, "Well, what do you mean?" She goes, "You've got a jersey to wear, right?" And I'm like, "Well, no, I don't. I can't. Your jerseys are small. You're small. You're so small." And she's like, "It doesn't matter. You lost." She goes, "I don't want to be mean about it, but you did lose, right? You lost."
I don't want to be mean about it.
And I said, "Well, yeah. I mean, I guess so. But I mean, it's just you won, and you're going to the playoffs, and yay." And she's like, No, yay." She goes, "You've been putting up pictures for like weeks." And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "All right, let's go upstairs." And I said, "Well, you don't want to do it down here?" She goes, "No, there's like too many Bear fans. It'll turn into a thing." She goes, we'll go upstairs." So we go to her room, and we walk in, and she's like, "Sit down." I was like, "All right." So she pulls out a bag, and remember I said that she had a ton of like Packer layers on? She brought even more layers that like she didn't even wear. And I think they were just designed specifically to put on me. Because she's like, "Sit in that chair." So I sit down, and she's like, "All right, here you go." And she takes this scarf off, and she puts a green scarf on me and a gold scarf on me, and she puts this Packer toque like right on top of my head. And then she pulls out and then the Packer jacket that I said made her look like a middleweight or whatever. She's like, "Well, you probably won't fit in this," and she goes, "You know what? Never mind." She goes, "You need a Rodgers jersey on you. That's what you need." I said, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "That was the whole reason why you were here and the whole reason why you lost." So she takes the Rodgers jersey and she just lays it on me because it's like, it's not going to fit on me, obviously. And it looked even cooler because then it looked like I was like all sad and like deflated. So I've got scarves on and the Rodgers jersey and the fucking Packer hat, and I'm just staring. And she just starts snapping fucking photos. I don't even know how many she fucking took. She's taking pictures, and And I go, all right, you done? Are we done with this yet? And she's like, well, no, turn your head. And she's making me fucking turn my head. And she sits down on the bed and she starts typing. And I go, what are you doing? And she goes, what do you mean? What do you think I'm doing? I'm posting it to Facebook. And I go, already? She goes, yeah, already.
Already.
And it goes up and my phone, I take my phone out and I look and it just says, he keeps repeating 4th and 8, 4th and 8, 4th and 8. And I just look shell-shocked in this dumb fucking photo. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. She picked the right one of all the ones she took. And then, of course, I get mocked on Facebook, and her friends are just fucking letting me have it. And I'm just like, I deserve it. I totally deserve it. And I laughed. I was like, all right. So we hung out. We went out to eat, went to a tapas restaurant next door, and literally both of us were just fried. We're just like, we're eating bacon wrapped dates and just staring into the distance because we couldn't keep our faces straight. I took a picture around Michigan Avenue. I did do that of her, like she's got her back is to me and she's just got her thumbs up, like pointing at the Rogers name on the back. And people were walking by like, yeah, boo. They were mad, but it didn't matter. I took the fucking photo and sent it to her, and she made it her Facebook profile photo immediately. So then, we hung out at the tapas joint, and then we went back to the hotel. She crashed in her place. I went upstairs and I made myself watch the highlights. I'm like, God damn it, I have to see this. So I just wanted to hear the announcers, because I can't imagine what the announcers sounded like when they saw that pass, and then there was nobody around fucking Randall Cobb's. And then I watched it online. It was at Deadspin, and I'm like, oh my God, Cobb! Like he just yells it. I'm like, oh Jesus, that's exactly how we felt. And then Conti just comes into the picture in the frame. Oh, fucking Conti! So the next day, I get taken to O'Hare, and I go to work on Tuesday, and I walk in, and these guys are just, because they all knew I was at the game, and they're like, oh my God, how awful was that? I go, honestly, it was amazing. It was the best sporting event I've ever been to in my life, with the worst ending of any sporting event I've ever been to in my life. But the whole game, and these guys go, that was the best game of the year. I go, yes, it was. I was there. I had fucking fantastic seats. And then I lost the best game of the year. And the week goes by, and now, of course, in Venice, my boss calls me Favre. He's like, hey, Favre. Hey, what are you doing, Favre? Hey, Packer. Hey, Favre. Just letting me have it. So I get a note from Jill, and she's like, hey, I need your P.O. box. I said, oh, okay. I said, what's up? She goes, well, I'm just sending something out. And I said, all right. So I sent her the P.O. box. And she wrote me, she goes, it has to be there by Saturday, so I just wanted to make sure. I'm like, well, I'm not the post office, but fine. But she's like, no, I'm telling you so you'll go check your post office on Saturday. You have to have this by Saturday. I said, okay. So I check my P.O. box on Saturday, and there it is. And I take it out, get home. I couldn't figure out what it was. It was a big envelope. I get it to my house, and I tear it open. And it's filled with green tissue paper.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
And I fish that out, and then I pull out, and it's a shirt. And I pull it out, and it's a white long sleeve shirt, and it just says Green Bay Packers 2013 NFC North champions. And there's a note, and it just says, you didn't think the bet was over, did you? Jill. And so I took a photo of myself in it, and I texted it to her, and she's just like, oh, I'm so happy it's there. She was like so elated. And I said, all right, well, there's your photo. She's like, oh, no. And she's like, you need to take a picture of yourself wearing the shirt, like, because it was only from the chest up. She said, no, people have to see the shirt you're wearing. And I said, okay. And she goes, and you need to make it your Facebook profile photo tomorrow for game day. I said, wait a minute. I go, you can't make retro bets. I mean, we didn't agree on that. She goes, you have been sending me pictures of me in a Bear jersey for 8 weeks. You've been posting them on my page for my friends to see. I think you can handle being a Packer fan for one day. And so I got to work, and I had my Bear jersey on over it. And then I said, all right, there's this girl that works there. I go, I need you to take a photo of me. And she's like, really? And I took my jacket off, and the whole fucking kitchen was like, dude. Because I had shown them all her in the Bears clothes. And my manager's like, Favre. And I just stood there, and I put my hands out, and she took the photo, and I made it my Facebook profile photo. I just put it up. And what's funny is people who don't know just wrote, what the hell? Why are you doing this? I can't believe you flipped sides. What is wrong with you? Like, you don't know what happened. Quit fucking yelling at me. And she just posted under it, and she's just like, this is the best picture I've ever seen. And like, she was so happy, so happy. And so now, like, she's like, we got to do this every year, right? We've got to, and I'm like, we can't do this every year. I can't. And she's like, no, we have to. And then in my head, I just went, seriously? I'm in, dude. I'm in. So as soon as the Bears schedule comes out next year, I have to see what's happening and what the hell is going to, because it's just going to be, because now I have to think of something great for when the Bears win both games next year, right? I have to think of something really, really awful for her to do. And I will think of that terrible thing. If you have suggestions, please feel free to send them to me, although I'm not saying I will abide by them, but I mean, I certainly need to think of something. I'm human lunch meat. I'm nobody. I'm baloney in pants. God damn it. Why do I think I'm somebody special? Why do I think I'm anybody interesting? I'm not. All I bring to the table is everything that everybody else does, but louder. Don't hit snooze on me, motherfucker. I am a hilarious noise machine. I'm going to tell you this. You need to sit down and reevaluate your life if you can pull 2 midget Indian wrestlers out of your skull at any time. You know what? I don't even need you people here. Seriously, I do this. I love me. I don't give a fuck what you think, how you think. God damn it, I'm the greatest. I can't go for Schmidt. No. No can do. 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 No can do.